The old aunt is 18 years older than me, and she dotes on me so much. Chaoqing, 22 years old, male, 178 centimeters tall, 75 kilograms in weight, graduated from Chaoqing College. Did you come to our company to apply for a job with a blind date introduction? I just hope that your company can get to know me in all aspects. If we hire you, what kind of contribution do you think you can bring to our company? During my time at school, I have always been the first in my major and have received scholarships every year. And I can carry 200 kilograms of rice on my shoulders, and I can work in the hall and in the kitchen. Walk out of the company building. Chaoqing looked back at the towering office building. He shook his head and sighed. This was the 38th company he had interviewed. Before, every company was impressed by his image. However, when they looked at the schools on his resume, they all frowned and rejected him. He is a child who came out of the mountains. His parents are honest farmers. Since he was a child, he has been a good student. There has never been a college student in the whole village, and they all have high hopes for him. But I didn't expect that I had a high fever during the college entrance examination. In the end, I didn't perform well and only got an ordinary third-rate college entrance examination. Although his family advised him to repeat the year, he resolutely chose to go to this school in order not to drag down his family. Now, facing the upcoming graduation and job search, he realized that he was careless at the beginning. In the past, he ignorantly thought that even if it was a third-rate university, as long as he worked hard enough, he could still stand out. It turned out that all this was his wishful thinking, and reality really gave him a hard slap in the face. Chaoqing recalled the scene when the interviewer questioned him just now. What advantages do you think you have? Why should we choose you, a student who graduated from a third-rate university, instead of those graduates from good universities? Young man, knowing that our company is one of the world's top 500 companies, do you think you are qualified? Although their words were sharp, they were all facts, and Chaoqing could only helplessly accept his fate. Under the hot sun at noon, Chaoqing found a small shop nearby. He bought a piece of bread and devoured it with a bottle of mineral water for 1 yuan. After finishing his lunch, he wiped the crumbs from the corner of his mouth. He took out a form with various companies printed on it and drew a line on the name of one of the companies. Then he took out his mobile phone to check the time and found that it was still early for work in the afternoon. He turned on the mobile phone navigation and found an ATM nearby. Chaoqing looked at the balance of 3,200 yuan in his bank card, gritted his teeth, and transferred 3,000 yuan to a bank card. His family was poor and had no money to support him to go to college. The tuition and living expenses during college were all earned by him working part-time. Living in Suyan City, the prices were not particularly high, and 3,000 yuan was enough for him to live for several months. The phone rang. Hello, Mom. Yes, I received the money, right. How could that be? I still have some left. Don't worry. It's okay. I found a job. It's a big company. It pays 8,000 yuan a month. You can use the money to pay the hospital bills first. Dad's illness can't be delayed. Hang up the phone. Looking at the bank card balance showing 200 yuan, Chaoqing sighed and took out the bank card. Could it be that he really wants to find a rich woman and be with a rich man? Now the business of being with a rich woman is also very competitive. If you don't have real skills, it's just a dream. Don't think about those unrealistic things. Just find a stable job honestly. I looked at the time again and saw that the afternoon work time was almost up. Chaoqing smiled at the glass of the building that could slightly reflect people's figures, and straightened his cheap suit that was a little wrinkled. The next interview with other companies began. In the evening, Chaoqing dragged his tired body out of a building. Looking at the form in front of him, which was already crossed out by himself, he really wanted to cry but had no tears. This was already the 55th company he had interviewed, and all of them were dissatisfied with his school. Where could he go to complain? He was ruthless. If it really didn't work, he could only go all out and try to get close to a rich woman. This was a roundabout way to save the country, not shameful. My father was still waiting for medical expenses in the hospital bed. Although he was one of the top 10 promising young people, he could only resort to this last resort. The reason why Chaoqing had this confidence was because he had a dazzling part-time job, a dissuading teacher. To put it bluntly, he played the role of someone else's temporary boyfriend and dissuaded those suitors who girls didn't like. With his height and appearance, he was indeed eye-catching, and could dissuade 98% of men and 2% of women. Despite his good appearance, he never had a girlfriend during college. First, he was too busy and had no time. Second, those women were interested in him at first and wanted to develop a relationship with him. However, once they knew he was busy and poor, they all stopped. With a dejected look, Ji-Yukan walked towards the nearby bus stop. A fashionable old lady in her 40s walked towards him. Although she was not young, she must have taken good care of herself and looked relatively young and beautiful. When she passed by him, Ji-Yukan smelled the fragrance emanating from her. The old lady suddenly stopped, turned back, and looked at him carefully. "Excuse me." Ji-Yukan was a little puzzled by the look, scratched his hair, and asked cautiously. "You should be a college graduate. Are you interested in coming to our company?" The elegant old lady stared at Ji-Yukan's face, nodded more satisfied, and said, "What is your company?" "Women's Underwear Company, Beaumay Group." "This. 5,000 per month, after tax, including 5 insurances and 1 housing fund, food and accommodation, 2 days off a week." "No problem, when will you start work?" "This is my business card, it's best to come tomorrow." After that, the old lady handed a business card to Ji-Yukan. Then, she added, "I will say hello to the HR department, and you can go directly to handle the entry procedures." After that, she didn't give Ji-Yukan time to react. Stepping on her high heels, she swayed and left. Ji-Yukan tightened the business card in his hand and raised his right fist. There is always a way out. Suddenly, their ding-dong mobile phone message sounded. Ji-Yukan took out his mobile phone and unlocked the screen. What caught his eye was a photo of a face that was not visible, but the figure was full of mature charm. The content was a bit exciting and imaginative. He thought he was an honest man, so he hurriedly locked his phone screen. He looked around cautiously, fearing that someone would accidentally discover him. Chapter 2. Auntie, you have such a great figure. After making sure that there was no one around him, Ji-Yukan cautiously unlocked his phone again. The picture was withdrawn, and the VChat software was opened. "Auntie, you are really brave. You sent photos in the broad daylight, and you are not afraid of people around me." Sweating. "I am just in the mood. Suddenly, I took a group of photos that I am particularly satisfied with, so I want to show them to you." Naughty. Although you withdrew quickly, I still saw it. Sour. "Does it look good?" Snickering. "It is really beautiful. I think that even celebrities can't compare with your figure." Strong. "Auntie is old, how can she compare with celebrities? Even the girls in your school are not comparable to me, an old woman." Sad. "Auntie, you are wrong. If they dare to stand with you, they will be the only ones who feel ashamed." Angry. "Okay, you are the only one who thinks I am good." Shy. "Auntie, believe me. Since I met you, I know that little girls are nothing to me." Kiss. Lock the phone screen and recall every bit of acquaintance with this chat auntie. To be honest, everything is a bit coincidental. That day, Ji-Yukan just helped a senior sister get rid of her suitor. Looking at the beautiful junior sister, it is inevitable that he still has some thoughts. Unfortunately, Ji-Yukan is famous for being poor in the college, and the senior sister simply sent him a good guy card. He returned to the dormitory with disappointment and was about to go to bed after washing up. Suddenly, he received a whole set of private photos of women taken by himself. Seeing them, he was really bleeding from his nose. Since seeing these photos, he really understood the meaning of the sentence, "Young people do not know the goodness of aunts," and mistakenly regard girls as treasures. At first, he thought it was sent to him by a bad friend. Until the next day, a strange woman added him as a friend. Going straight to the point, she said that the photos he received were all hers and that they must not be circulated outside, so she asked him to delete them all. Ji-Yukan adhered to the principles of a promising young man and specially recorded a video to record the whole process of him deleting the pictures. Because she was worried that she would be worried, she also specially took a photo of her ID card to prove her innocence. Seeing that he was so honest, she completely let him go. Then, the woman seemed to have found a different kind of stimulation because of this mistake. Seeing that Ji-Yukan was so honest, she became a witness to her private photos. Every time she had an inspiration, she would send him photos that she was satisfied with for appreciation. After a while, the two became close friends. Ji-Yukan came to his senses and saw that his bus had arrived. He put his mood together, got on the bus and went straight to school. In the men's dormitory of Chaoqing College. Ji Yukan pushed open the door of the dormitory. I saw a man with glasses, who was killing people in the game to his heart's content, and didn't notice anyone coming in at all. Fang Hong, are you still in the mood to play games? Have you found a job? As if she had just realized that Ji Yukan had returned, Fang Hong took off her headphones, her hands moving non-stop, and said proudly. Of course, as a local, how can I be embarrassed by work? Fang Hong is Ji Yukan's roommate and also his good friend. I was often shocked by his efforts and once took him as my role model. Fang Hong's family conditions are not bad, and she is also a local in Haiyun City. During college, she took care of Ji Yukan, a rural person. After a few visits, the two naturally became good friends who could talk about anything. What about you? Did you find a job smoothly? I found it, the salary is not bad, and there are 5 insurances and 1 housing fund. In the beginning, Fang Hong was actually a little worried about Ji Yukan. After all, it is not so easy for them to find a good job in Sucheng City, a third-rate school. Unexpectedly, Ji Yukan actually found one. Congratulations, what's the name of your company? Is it big? It should be good, it's called Bomei Group. I haven't heard of it before, I'll check it online later. What did you say? Bomei, that makes branded underwear. Hearing this, Ji Yukan's heart moved. It seems that Fang Hong seems to know this company. Yeah, what's wrong? Then congratulations, we can be together again. You too. Don't lie to me, is it such a coincidence? Hearing this, Fang Hong rolled her eyes helplessly and took out her mobile phone to show him the employment contract. I was able to get in because of my family's connections. Otherwise, their company doesn't accept anyone who is not a graduate of a double first-class university. Such high requirements. It seems that this company is not ordinary. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was surprised. Seeing this, Fang Hong nodded with satisfaction. Then, she asked with some curiosity. You don't know anything, how did you get in? I don't know either, I just happened to meet a female executive. She didn't say anything, looked me up and asked me to go to work. What? Can it be like this? You are so lucky, I won't ask you to be an underwear model. It should be, no way. If I really want to be a model, it's not impossible, but I have to pay more. Fang Hong looked at Ji Yukan carefully and felt discouraged. This Ji Yukan really has the ability to make such a request. But I heard that there are a lot of beauties in Bomei Company. It's a pity that I am in the network security department, and I guess there are more men. Looking at Fang Hong with a crazy face, Ji Yukan's heart moved. Based on the appearance of that auntie, there should be a lot of beauties in this company. However, it's none of my business. As long as the treatment is good. Late at night, Ji Yukan, who was already lying on the bed and preparing to go to sleep, took out his mobile phone. Auntie, I found a job. Grin. Really? Congratulations. Finally, you don't have to worry about being unemployed after graduation. Applause. Yeah, Auntie, what are you doing? Why aren't you resting so late? Confused. Just bought a set of clothes and is taking pictures. Shy. I want to see it. Shy. Do you want to see it? Don't worry about not being able to sleep. Smirk. Yeah, I really want to. Crazy. Then wait a minute. Shy. After a while, the phone vibrated non-stop. Ji Yukan, who was about to fall asleep in a daze, immediately perked up. Clicked on the private photos one by one and admired them. Auntie's figure is really great. But why is she still single? Is it a lesbian? It shouldn't be. Auntie, this dress is really good for you. Bitter. No, it's not the effect I want. Some poses can't be performed. Sad. Actually, I have studied photography, I can help you take pictures. Proud. Ji Yukan really didn't lie. He did take photography as an elective, and the professional teacher praised him for his talent. Just look at the photos, don't have any bad thoughts about Auntie. Smirk. Oh, so embarrassing. Chapter 3 Auntie, there are many beauties in our company. Ding. The elevator stopped at the 15th floor. Following the crowd, Ji Yukan and Fang Hong squeezed out of the elevator and came to Bomei's Human Resources Department under the guidance of the front desk. Dong dong dong. There was a knock on the door, and a voice came from inside the room, "Come in." Ji Yukan and Fang Hong straightened their clothes and pushed open the door of the office. I saw a beauty in her 30s. Dressed in a capable black OL hip-wrapped professional suit, appeared in front of them. "You are new employees. Come, fill out these 2 forms first. Someone will take you to your department later." After saying that, she looked at Ji Yukan twice more unconsciously, thinking secretly, "This freshly graduated college student looks good. Especially this figure and this pair of long legs. I, a woman, envy him. Beautiful sister, my name is Fang Hong. We will be colleagues in the future. Please take care of me. You are really good at talking. I can't say I will take care of you. I am Lu Qianlan, the manager of the HR department. In the future, if you encounter anything you don't understand in the company, you can come to me." Lu Qianlan smiled and looked at Ji Yukan, who was filling in the information. "Since he is Fang Hong, you must have been introduced by Manager Xiao." Hearing this, Ji Yukan quickly raised his head and smiled modestly at Lu Qianlan. "Well, my name is Ji Yukan. I just arrived at the company. I will ask Manager Lu to take care of me in the future." Lu Qianlan looked at Ji Yukan in front of her, and her eyes were a little reluctant to move away. "No way. This little boy. Not only is he good looking, but his smile is even more charming." Seeing the doubt in Ji Yukan's eyes, Lu Qianlan came back to her senses, stroked her hair, and smiled. "Don't worry. In the company, sister will take care of you. Leave the manager's office. Ji Yukan, I'll stay away from you in the future. What do you feel now? Didn't you notice? The way Manager Lu looked at you just now seemed to want to eat you up. Beside you, all my beautiful women have been taken away by you. We've been in college for 4 years, and you just found out today." Fang Hong saw that Ji Yukan dared to laugh at her, so she wanted to choke him like she did in school. She saw 2 people walking towards them, and she stopped her movements and looked at them seriously. "You are Fang Hong, right? Come with me." Fang Hong winked at Ji Yukan and hurriedly followed the person. "Then you must be Ji Yukan. The marketing department hasn't recruited new people for half a year, but they did this time. Come with me." Ji Yukan nodded and followed the man to the 20th floor in the elevator. The young man who led the way did not directly assign him a workstation. Took him to the manager's office of the marketing department. "Wait here for a while. Manager Xiao will come to see you when he's done." Ji Yukan nodded to show that he understood, and watched the man turn around and leave, disappearing from his sight. Does this man seem to be hostile to him? I just came to the company and don't know him. It's really a bit confusing. A moment. Thump, thump. The sound of high heels stepping quickly on the floor sounded. "You're here. Sit down." Ji Yukan recognized that the person who came was the 40-year-old aunt who recruited him into the company yesterday. "Your name is Ji Yukan, right? I'm Xiaonan, the manager of the marketing department. From now on, you will be my secretary. The office position is the table closest to me outside. You should get familiar with the company's business first, and go out with me often in the future. Okay, Manager Xiao." Looking at Ji Yukan turning around and leaving, Xiaonan's beautiful eyes flashed with a strange color. "This little boy is really good. You can try him if you have a chance." At noon, in the company lounge, Ji Yukan, who had been browsing the company's documents all morning, was drinking coffee and relaxing. Fang Hong came to Ji Yukan in a sneaky way. "Ji Yukan, you are so lucky. You were directly assigned to the marketing department. This is the department with the most beauties in the whole company. I wonder how many male colleagues are envious." Ji Yukan glanced at him and joked while drinking coffee. "You are one of the envious ones." "Of course. I have come all the way here, and those beauties are really amazing. You are simply a little green among thousands of flowers. This benefit is so cool." Ji Yukan looked at this beaming friend and shouted behind him. "Xiao Hui, why are you here?" Hearing this, Fang Hong was shocked and immediately stopped her outspokenness. Turning around angrily, just as she was about to explain something, she found that there was no one there. "Ji Yukan, you want to die, don't you? I just want you to remember that you have a girlfriend, don't be so wild. I don't want to do anything, so I won't let you have your fun." Fang Hong looked around cautiously and whispered to Ji Yukan. "I also found out a hot news. The chairman of our group is also a beauty. She is already 40 years old, but she is still not married. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was surprised and asked. You are not, are you mistaken? Beauty, 40 years old, not married. Did you put these words in the wrong place? Seeing Ji Yukan's face of disbelief, Fang Hong said anxiously. What I said is true. This is the news revealed to me by my relative. Every day, the CEOs of large enterprises come to our company to squat, just to see the chairman. The chairman is now forced to come to the company rarely, and his whereabouts are elusive. Okay, stop gossiping here. Lunch break is coming, go back quickly. After Fang Hong's bombardment of messages at noon, Ji Yukan was also full of curiosity about the chairman of Bomei. What kind of woman would this be? It seems difficult to get along with her. Evening. After reading materials for a day, Ji Yukan returned to the school dormitory. Took out his mobile phone and couldn't help wanting to share his feelings with his aunt. Opened the WeChat software and was about to send her a message. Ding dong, a message came. How do you feel about your first day at work? Grin. Seeing that it was sent by his aunt, Ji Yukan was delighted. Aunt, we are really in sync. I was just about to send you a message. Shy. What a coincidence. You are not trying to trick me, are you? Surprised. My feelings for me are clear to everyone. I will never lie to you. Furious. Really? Then let me ask you, are there many beauties in the company? Snickering. Ji Yukan, who was so confident just now, was a little embarrassed when he saw this message. How did you know? I was assigned to the marketing department, which is probably the department with the most beauties in the company. Shy. Really? I just asked casually, you are so lucky. Frightened. I think so too. Our company is called Bomei Group, have you heard of it? I just found out today that this company is so big. What? You work at Bomei. Chapter 4, Auntie, I sell my art but not my body. Yeah, you know that too. Our group is really big. You must be envious. Proud. I saw that my aunt didn't reply for a long time. Ji Yukan thought she was busy and stopped paying attention to her phone. He glanced at Fang Hong's empty bed, shook his head helplessly, and hummed a song while tidying up the slightly messy dormitory. It seems that Fang Hong is going on a date with his girlfriend Yi Xiaohui tonight and will most likely not come back. I wonder if the other roommates have found jobs. After this graduation, I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to meet again. After a quick cleaning, Ji Yukan washed up in a good mood and lay down on the bed. Ding dong, the phone message sound came again. It's a good company, you should work hard. Happy. That's right. I am a promising young man and I must work hard. Struggle. Actually, you don't have to work so hard. After all, my aunt is a white-collar worker and has quite a bit of savings. I can help you with your family's difficulties. Hug. No, I'm a man. I can take on this responsibility. Rose. A smile appeared on Ji Yukan's lips. I was very happy about my aunt's concern. Auntie, are you interested in taking photos today? I'm a little tired today, so I haven't taken any photos yet. Do you want to see it? Shy. Bitter. Then wait for me. Happy. 10 minutes passed. The cell phone kept ringing. Ji Yukan excitedly clicked on the pictures and looked at them one by one. This is a good picture. If the movement range is a little bigger, it will be perfect. Strong? This one is also good. It would be more sexy if it was more charming. Like. The next day, Pomeranian Marketing Department. Ji Yukan had nothing to do in the morning, so he was sitting at his workstation, looking at Bomei's customer information. Ji Yukan, come here. I heard Xiao Anan calling me. Ji Yukan quickly put down the documents, stood up and walked towards the manager's office, feeling a little excited. There won't be a job assigned to me the next day. These are the customer information we are going to visit today. Please memorize them. Come with me to visit this client this afternoon. Remember to watch more, listen more, and talk less. Understood, manager. Looking at Ji Yukan, who left with an excited look on his face, Xiao Anan showed a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. Young people are full of energy. Looking at it, I feel several years younger. With this figure, he must have exercised a lot and must have very good physical strength. Time flies and it's time for lunch. Fang Hong was no longer sneaky this time. He walked towards Ji Yukan openly, looking at the beauty. Mr. Fang, you look so proud and happy. You must have been very happy last night. That's right. A single guy like you wouldn't understand. You came here today. Did you bring me some important news again? Hearing this, Fang Hong started to become sneaky again and glanced around. Hey, I really do. And it's about Manager Xiao from your marketing department. Hearing this, Ji Yukan's eyes lit up and he actually became interested. According to rumors, your Manager Xiao is the secret lover of a certain big boss. Hearing this, Ji Yukan lost interest. It turned out to be just some gossip. Seeing Ji Yukan's disappointed expression, Fang Hong became very anxious. No, the big news is yet to come. Do you know who this boss is? Jiancheng Group, Sai Hongder. Hearing this, Ji Yukan raised his eyebrows and looked thoughtful. Don't say I didn't warn you. This Manager Xiao is not a simple person, you have to be careful. Suqing City, on the outer ring road. A red Caterpillar sedan was speeding on the road. I'll go in a moment. You wait outside first and try to get close to his female secretary. Manager Xiao. What information do you need? What brand of clothes does their boss like to wear, what kind of food does he like to eat, and whether he has any private hobbies? No matter what information it is, as long as it belongs to their boss, I want it all. Ji Yukan nodded to show that he understood, and was secretly shocked in his heart. No wonder she was able to get the position of manager. This level of business ability is not something that ordinary people can do. The car drove quickly to the underground parking lot of a building. Wait for me in the car first. After saying that, he got out of the car, opened the trunk and started searching. Ji Yukan didn't care either. Take out today's customer information and check again to see if there is anything you have missed. Moment. Look up. He could actually see Xiaonan taking off her OL suit through the car's central rearview mirror. At this time, he could already see Xiaonan's underwear, which was a very sexy purple lace style. I quickly looked away, my heart beating faster and faster. In the back seat, Xiaonan, who was changing clothes, seemed to have noticed Ji Yukan's gaze and raised the corner of her mouth. Are you surprised? It's my habit to have all kinds of clothes in the car. According to the preferences of different customers, I will change them directly in the car before meeting the customers. Through the rearview mirror, Xiaonan could also see Ji Yukan's expression. When I met him, I was at a loss from the beginning. Until now, there was still a slightly red expression on the fair face, and Xiaonan was secretly surprised. This little boy is actually still shy. Why do boys look so good when they are shy? He is not still a virgin. What era is this? This shouldn't be the case. Xiaokan, you are so handsome, you must have had a lot of girlfriends, right? Don't be afraid of Manager Xiao laughing at me, I've never been in a relationship before. Are you kidding me? With your conditions, you have never been in a relationship. Real. My family is poor and I am busy working part-time while going to school. But even if we talked, we wouldn't have time for love. Ji Yukan felt a little embarrassed and scratched his hair. In this era, if you say that you have never been in a relationship after graduating from college, people will probably laugh at you to death. But he didn't want to lie, so he could only speak frankly. That's great. Ji Yukan suddenly heard Xiaonan muttering something and asked. Manager Xiao, what did you say? Nothing, just call me Sister Nan from now on. Xiaonan changed her clothes quickly, looked at Ji Yukan in the passenger seat with seductive eyes. Let's go, the appointment time is almost up. Hearing this, Ji Yukan quickly calmed himself down and got out of the car. I saw that Xiaonan had changed into a purple arm-wrapped dress. Her curvy figure doesn't look like that of an old lady in her 40s at all. Ji Yukan adhered to the professional ethics of a promising young man and did not look at anything inappropriate, so he quickly looked away. Then, something he didn't expect happened. Xiaonan looked at Ji Yukan. She frowned and walked towards him slowly. The smell of perfume emanating from that mature woman made Ji Yukan's heart beat wildly. What is this Manager Xiao going to do to me? I'm selling my art, not my body. Chapter 5 Auntie, how about I marry you? When meeting a client, you should dress neatly. Smelling the faint scent of perfume on Xiaonan and looking at the woman in front of him who was helping him straighten his collar, Ji Yukan felt a little strange in his heart. It turns out he was just helping me tidy up my clothes, but was it necessary to get so close? Doesn't she have any idea about me? Seeing Xiaonan walking towards the elevator, Ji Yukan quickly gathered his thoughts and followed her. Come to the boss's office. Xiaonan gave Ji Yukan an instruction and then walked into the office. Ji Yukan felt relieved when he saw that the client's secretary was just a girl in her early 20s. He quickly stepped forward and started to get close to her. The girl is not pretty, she has a delicate appearance. When he saw Ji Yukan, his eyes immediately lit up. Seeing that he took the initiative to talk to me, I quickly responded enthusiastically. After a few interactions, Ji Yukan easily got all the information about the boss of their company from the little girl. It turned out that the girl was the boss's sister-in-law. His wife was afraid that he would do something unfaithful, so she sent the girl to keep an eye on him. This is convenient for Ji Yukan. The girl wanted to tell him how many times her boss had sex with his wife every night. The sun sets. Ji Yukan, who was a little thirsty from chatting with the secretary, saw Xiaonan coming out of the office and thought it was time to go home. I didn't expect that we would go out for drinks and dinner together in the evening. At the wine table, Ji Yukan just saw the burly boss. The secretary who was chatting just now was also there. Perhaps because his sister-in-law was present, the boss behaved very well and did not do anything out of line towards Xiaonan. Ji Yukan has been allergic to alcohol since childhood, so he declined to drink and drank juice with his secretary. When you are full and satisfied, the wine will dissipate. Xiaonan, who was a little tipsy, took out his car keys and shook them. You can drive. Ji Yukan nodded quickly, acted as a driver, and took Xiaonan home. Although he can drive, his skills are not very good. This driver's license of his was bought by a senior student who paid for it. He himself is reluctant to spend the money. This senior student took great pains to break up with the boy. I spent a lot of money to help him get a driver's license and even rented a Mercedes-Benz for him to drive, before I completely persuaded this bootlicker to quit. The red car slowly drove into the Qianding Haoqing community. Ji Yukan knew that this property was famously expensive in Sioux City. He parked the car neatly in the parking space. He closed the door and handed the car keys to Xiaonan. I don't know if it was intentional. Her white and slender fingers gently slid across Ji Yukan's palm. Sorry to bother you today, would you like to go upstairs and have a glass of water? Seeing this, Ji Yukan's heart moved. Recalling everything that happened today, I seemed to have a vague sense of something. No, Manager Xiao, my roommate is still waiting for me to come back. Xiaonan looked at Ji Yukan's disappearing back and gently licked her sexy red lips with the tip of her tongue. This little boy is quite defensive. But can you escape from my grasp? My sister has chosen you. Ji Yukan returned to the dormitory. Fang Hong was surprised to see that he came back so late. She immediately put down the game in her hand and looked at him with an ambiguous expression. Student Ji Yukan, please explain where you went so late at night. Where else can I go? I'll have dinner with my clients. Manager Xiao is here too, right? Nothing happened. I sent her home and took a taxi back. What else could have happened? Cut. Although Manager Xiao is not young, he has maintained himself very well. He is also a veteran of the company with strong business capabilities, and must be worth a lot of money. Aren't you tempted? Why not just stick with this rich woman? You can work less for decades. How enviable. Thinking of Xiaonan's subtle teasing today, Ji Yukan was also a little agitated and said impatiently. If you want it so badly, go ahead. That requires the rich woman to like me. After saying that, he turned around and started his game again. Ji Yukan smelled the smell on his body and quickly went to the bathroom to wash up. Lie in bed. Open the chat software. There are already several unread messages. Auntie, I just got back. I didn't see the message you sent. I'm about to cry. Why is it so late? Confused. I have to have dinner with my clients. I can't help it. Sad. That's right. There is really no way to control the time spent on marketing. Hug. Yes, I went with our manager today and learned a lot. Grin. Oh? Your manager? She should be a pretty lady. Chuckling. Well, even though she is 40, she is still pretty. Scary. Really? What? Did it make you excited? Sad. How could that happen? I just went there to learn. I am only attracted to you, Auntie. You must be 100 times prettier than her. Crazy. Yu Haven T looked at me. How do you know if I'm pretty? Maybe, it's an old woman with sagging skin. Left hum. I don't mind. I just like you, Auntie. Rose. You're so sweet today, I'll give you a reward later. Shy. Auntie, are you interested in taking photos again? Yeah, I'll wait for you. Yu Can exited the chat. I opened the company's internal documents and took a look. Moment. Ding dong, the sound of cell phone messages kept ringing. He was delighted and quickly clicked on the photo. The first picture shocked him. Nosebleed started instantly. He quickly got out of bed, took a tissue and blocked his nose. Auntie, you are so bold today. Scared. What, you don't like it? Heartbroken. Yeah, I like it. I like it very much. Knocking. Does it look good? Shy. My eyes almost popped out of my head. I have never seen anything so beautiful. Auntie, are you a fairy sent from heaven? Is it as exaggerated as you say, Shy? I swear, if I dare to lie to you, I will never be able to get married in my entire life. Going crazy. I didn't say I don't believe it, why are you swearing? Retreat quickly. Angry. Seeing this, Yu Kan's heart moved, and he seemed to have mustered up great courage. Auntie, since you are not married yet. Otherwise, I will marry you. Rose. What nonsense are you talking about? Auntie is old, I am old enough to be your mother. Scary. I don't care about these, I just like you. Love you. Seeing that his aunt did not reply to the message, Yu Kan felt a little disappointed. Maybe I was too impulsive and scared my aunt. Why doesn't she reply to my message? Is she angry? Will she ignore me in the future? The next few days, Yu Kan started to get busy and often had to accompany Xiaonan to meet clients. During this period, I learned a lot. He also felt more and more that Xiaonan was powerful. Her understanding of these clients allows her to adopt more diverse approaches in handling client relationships. Xiaokan, did you see the purple arm-wrapped skirt I wore last time? Chapter 6 How dare you reject me? Hearing this, Yu Kan felt a little uncomfortable and looked at Xiaonan through the rearview mirror. Sister Nan, I haven't seen it either. Why don't you look for it again? No way, you thought it looked good, so you hid it secretly. After saying that, Xiaonan raised her beautiful eyes and looked at him with a smile. Yu Kan quickly retracted his gaze and said awkwardly. Sister Nan, please stop teasing me. I don't have the guts to do that. I was just joking with you, look how scared you are. Okay, I found it. Then, Xiaonan sat in the back seat again and started to change clothes without any precautions. Xiaokan, do you think Sister Nan is pretty? Yu Kan's heart skipped a beat. During this period, Xiaonan did not do anything overly intimate. However, there is a lot of teasing from time to time. Of course Sister Nan is pretty. I wonder how many men are obsessed with you. Sister loves to hear what you say. Really, I'm not lying. Really? Are you one of them? Oh, Sister Nan, you're making fun of me again. After saying that, Yu Kan didn't dare to flatter anymore, for fear of getting himself implicated. Seeing this, Xiaonan stopped teasing him, changed her clothes quickly and got out of the car. Just wait for me in the car. This client will be dealt with quickly. In a while, take me home directly, and then drive the car back. Tomorrow morning, come directly to my house to pick me up, no need to go to the company again. Yu Kan return to the dormitory. Today, it's a rare opportunity to get off work on time. And Fang Hong is not planning to come back. He was quick and gave the dormitory a thorough cleaning. After a busy day, I washed up and lay down on the bed. It was only 8 o'clock. Yu Kan opened the chat software. Auntie, are you there? Poor. Are you still angry? Sad. Can you please stop ignoring me? I was wrong, isn't that enough? I will never say such things again. Kowtow. After sending the message, I didn't receive a reply for a long time. Yu Kan was helpless and sighed heavily. He locked his phone screen and pulled the quilt over his head. Prepare to have a detailed discussion with Zhuangju. Ding ling ling. The cell phone suddenly rang. Yu Kan lifted the quilt in confusion. I saw that the caller was Xiaonan. Ji Yukan was afraid that she had some urgent matter, so he quickly answered the phone. Hello, is this Miss Nan? Your foot is injured. Well, now. Okay, Sister Nan, I'll be there right away. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan shook his head, then got up and changed his clothes helplessly. This Sister Nan is really careless. I can sprain my leg at home, so how can she do a somersault at home? I thought I could rest early today, but I didn't expect that. Looks like I have to stay up late again. Fortunately, I am still young, otherwise who can stand this kind of torture? Tianding Haichin Community. Ji Yukan checked the house number and made sure it was correct before pressing the doorbell. This period of time. However, he often sent Xiaonan home. But they only sent her to the underground parking lot and never came to her house. This is my first time here today, and I'm a little curious about what her house will be like. Squeak. The door opened. Ji Yukan's eyes suddenly widened. I saw Xiaonan, with a lazy look on her face, wearing a purple lace nightgown. What is Sister Nan doing? You knew I was coming, yet you still dressed so revealingly. Does she have a bold personality, or does she dress like this on purpose for me to see? Sister Nan, this is the swelling and pain relieving medicine you requested. Help me in, my feet hurt so badly. Ji Yukan hesitated. Seeing that her face looked bad indeed, he gritted his teeth and helped her into their house. In such close contact, Ji Yukan could clearly smell the perfume coming from Xiaonan, which was mixed with the smell of alcohol. Sister Nan, have you been drinking? Well, I was in a bad mood. I drank some at home. Ji Yukan just asked casually. Coming to the sofa, he carefully helped Xiaonan sit down. Immediately, I was attracted by the space and decoration of her home. Ji Yukan estimated that the living room alone was more than 100 square meters. And the luxurious decoration made him a little dazzled. Although I knew Sister Nan was rich, I didn't expect her to be this rich. With her ability, she can find any man she wants, so why would she want to be someone else's mistress? Xiaokan, it's not convenient for me to wipe it myself. Please help me. Hearing this, Ji Yukan came back to his senses. Looking at Xiaonan's pitiful appearance in front of him, he couldn't refuse. Okay, Sister Nan. I saw Xiaonan leaning elegantly on the sofa. A pair of snow-white, slender legs stretched out in front of Ji Yukan. When Ji Yukan saw this scene, his heart beat faster and he quickly shifted his gaze, not daring to look around anymore. Gently lifting up Xiaonan's jade feet, Ji Yukan carefully applied ointment to her swollen ankle. Kindness. R. It hurts, be gentler. The soft and weak voice made Ji Yukan feel uneasy. What are you doing? I'm just rubbing your ankle. If others hear it, they will think you are doing something shameful. Sister Nan, it's okay. Remember not to let this foot touch water at night. Well, thank you for your help tonight. It's fine. Sister Nan, it's getting late now, I'll go back first. After saying that, he stood up and prepared to flee from here. Let me take you there. Seeing Ji Yukan was about to leave, Xiaonan quickly stood up. Oops. A low cry. Xiaonan's delicate body fell limply into Ji Yukan's arms. Ji Yukan instinctively supported her body. Wherever my hands touched, there was soft skin. The skin condition is totally different from what a 40-year-old woman should have. Suddenly, he felt the woman in his arms tremble. As if she was aroused, her whole body began to heat up. Seeing this, Ji Yukan quickly calmed himself and helped her back to the sofa. Something he never expected happened. Xiaonan kissed him directly with her lips. Ji Yukan was stunned for a moment. Suddenly I noticed something strange happening on her mouth and quickly pushed her away. Ouch! Ji Yukan frowned as he looked at Xiaonan, who was holding his ankle with a painful expression. Without a trace of pity in his heart, he said solemnly. Manager Xiao, you've drunk too much, you should have a good rest. I will forget about this tomorrow. Hearing this, Xiaonan stopped pretending to be weak and sneered. How? Isn't he my sister beautiful? I've thrown myself into your arms, but you still don't want me. Do you think I'm too old? Manager Xiao, you really drank too much. I'm leaving first. After saying that, Ji Yukan ignored her and turned away. Ji Yukan, how dare you? What's wrong with me? Why do you reject me? Good, very good. Young people are brave. I wonder how long you can stay in Pomeranian. Behind him, Xiaoanan's hysterical and angry voice was heard. Chapter 7. Come to your aunt, I will support you. Return to the dormitory. At this moment, Ji Yukan no longer had the composure he had at the beginning. My pounding heart finally calmed down a little, and I was filled with deep regret. Actually, there's nothing wrong with her. Although she is a little older, she is rich and beautiful. Is it okay now? I'm afraid I'm going to lose the job I finally found. My dad is still waiting for medical expenses, and my younger brother and sister are about to start school. What should I do about the tuition for next semester? It's so annoying. Why didn't I realize before that Fang Hong is such a good chatterbox? If he were here, he could still chat with me. Ji Yukan shook his head to stop his random thoughts. I took off my clothes, ran into the bathroom and took a cold shower, which made me feel better. Lying in bed, ready to dream away all my worries. But I tossed and turned and just couldn't fall asleep. Take out your phone and open the chat software. Auntie, are you asleep? Question. I'm so upset. I'm afraid I'm going to lose the job I just found. Crying. My family is still waiting for money, I don't know what to do now. Sad. Ding dong, the phone message sounded. What happened? Frightened. Seeing his aunt reply to his message, Ji Yukan quickly stood up with joy in his eyes. Our manager sprained her foot today and asked me to bring her some medicine. I didn't expect her to forcefully kiss me, but I pushed her away. Crying. How could such a thing happen? What's the result? Surprised. She told me something. Either I get along with her or I quit my job. Panic. This is not a bad thing. Didn't you say that your manager is beautiful? Otherwise, just give in to her and forget it. Zwahums. Oh, I have thought about it. However, I decisively dismissed this idea. Awkward. Why is this? Knocking. If it's for love. I don't mind that she's 40, and she's rich. If that's the case, why don't you do it? Question. She is rich and very beautiful, but I don't love her. And she just wants to support me and treat me as a plaything. Picking nose. Seeing that his aunt suddenly stopped replying to his message, Ji Yufan's thoughts started to wander again. I wonder what will happen tomorrow? Will the HR department tell you not to go to work as soon as you get to work? Maybe, she was just talking drunk. Not really going to do anything to me. Ding dong. Don't worry. Sleep well, nothing will happen, this may just be your misunderstanding. Hug. I hope so. Hug. Would you like me to give you some comfort? Shy. I met my aunt whom I hadn't talked to for several days. Another round of benefits were coming, and Ji Yukan immediately became energetic again. Yeah, okay. When I see you, I have no worries. Struggle. Just say nice things to coax me. Waiting. Laughing. Moment. Their ding-dong sound continued to ring. Ji Yukan immediately clicked on the picture. This time it wasn't just shock, it was my jaw dropping. Auntie, this is too exciting. Auntie, what's wrong with you today? I begged you to do these actions before, but you refused to do them. Confused. I just want to encourage you because you are so heartbroken. Shy. Thank you, Auntie. I feel much better now. Grin. That's it. Young people should be more energetic. Strive. Yeah, at worst I can just quit. If this place doesn't want me, there are other places that will. Proud. Fine. If you really have nowhere to go, come to your aunt's place. Auntie will support you. Naughty. Auntie, you said this. Don't lie. Kiss. Seeing that aunt no longer replied. Only then did Ji Yukan lock his phone with satisfaction. Fell asleep peacefully. Morning. Bomei, Marketing Department. Ji Yukan didn't go to pick up Xiaonan this morning. He didn't drive the car last night and took a taxi back to the dormitory. At this time, Ji Yukan was at his workstation. I was in a state of panic the whole morning, fearing that someone from the HR department would call me over. At noon, in the lounge, Ji Yukan, with a worried look on his face, sat in a chair drinking coffee. Fang Hong was seen walking over carefree, greeting the beauties from the marketing department along the way. What's wrong? Why do you look so bad? It's nothing, just some trouble at work. Fang Hong then looked around cautiously and whispered. I have another big melon, do you want to eat it? Go ahead and I'll listen. Fang Hong didn't care about Ji Yukan's weak attitude and said to herself. This morning, our Bomei's chairman actually came to work at the group. What's so surprising about this? The boss will come to the company to take a look. Seeing Ji Yukan's matter-of-fact attitude, Fang Hong said excitedly. What do you know? Ever since the group got on the right track, all matters are handled by the general manager. Our chairman almost never shows up, and today everyone in the company was alarmed. Oh. Ji Yukan was originally a little uninterested, but suddenly he thought of something and his heart moved. No wonder everyone seemed weird this morning. I thought he knew about what happened between me and Xiaonan, but it turned out to be the boss of the group. Oh, no matter whether he is the boss or not, he is too far away from me. After today, it's a question whether I can still stay in the company. Ji Yukan. What are you thinking about? I've called you several times. Oh, nothing. Just wondering what kind of person this chairman is. Hey, you're interested too, right? Those old employees all say that the chairman is a great beauty. But she is already 40 years old. How can she still be so beautiful? There must be some exaggeration. Then, Fang Hong glanced around again and said cautiously. But I did hear it. There is a big boss in his 20s who has met our chairman. After returning, he divorced his beautiful wife and came to pursue our chairman. There is such a thing. Of course not. When the chairman found out, guess how she refused? Then, Fang Hong straightened up and put on a very heroic look. She just said. How can a fickle person like you be worthy of pursuing me? Get lost now, and don't dirty my eyes. Tell me whether it's domineering or not. When I heard this, I was stunned. Ji Yukan was actually brought in by Fang Hong, and he became very curious about the chairman of this Bomei company. What an amazing woman. I really want to see it, what a pity. I'm afraid I won't have this opportunity again. A day's work passes by quickly. Ji Yukan, who had been worried all day, breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that it was time to get off work. Fortunately, nothing happened that day. Pack up your things quickly and leave the company immediately. You are Ji Yukan, don't leave yet. Someone from the HR department is calling you over. They said they have something important to tell you. Ji Yukan's face immediately fell when he heard this. What is coming will eventually come. Chapter 8, Aunt Chairman, are you interested in me? Ji Yukan stood up and just saw Xiaonan coming out of his office. Seeing her looking at him strangely, Ji Yukan smiled bitterly in his heart. You, Xiaonan, are really too quick. What grudge do I have against you? Are you making such a fuss, wishing I would disappear immediately? Forget it, I was just someone you hired on a whim. Just go, so as to avoid more trouble in the future. Then, he looked at her with a frank look. Turned around and walked towards the Human Resources Department. A group of beautiful colleagues who had not yet left work were whispering to each other. Why is this handsome young man who just arrived being called by HR at this time? Do you think he will be fired? No way. He's so handsome, and I want to develop a relationship with him further. Don't you realize how old you are? You still have the nerve to develop further with others. Bomei Human Resources Department. Ji Yukan met Lu Qianlan again, who was wearing a professional OL outfit. At this time, Lu Qianlan was looking at the documents in her hand carefully and did not notice Ji Yukan coming in. Manager Lu, you're looking for me. Oh. It's Ji Yukan. Come, sit down and talk. Seeing Lu Qianlan's attitude, Ji Yukan looked puzzled. He slowly sat down opposite her, feeling vaguely that things were not as he had imagined. Am I overthinking it? Impossible. The look in Xiaoanan's eyes just now was obviously a little different. Or did you just ask HR to warn me today? Yes. Very likely. Manager Lu, I don't know, is there anything you want to tell me? You are joking, how can I order you around? That's right, the company's top management has taken a liking to you. Since you are studying economics, the marketing department is not very suitable for you. Although our chairman Bomei has not been to the company for a long time, there are still some matters that need to be sorted out on his behalf. Hearing this, Ji Yukan's heart began to beat wildly, but he suppressed his ecstasy. No way. Are you kidding me? Are they going to promote me to assistant to the chairman? That's unlikely. I've only been in Pomeranian for a short time. How could I possibly encounter such a good thing? That's right. The company has decided to promote you to assistant to the chairman. Lu Qianlan looked at Ji Yukan, who was full of joy, smiled, and nodded. Manager Lu, is this true? Of course, I can't joke with you. Congratulations, I will call you Assistant Ji Yu from now on. Ji Yukan quickly stood up and shook hands with her excitedly. Manager Lu, you're too polite. If you think highly of me, just call me Xiaokan. Then I'll be generous and call you Xiaokan. In terms of salary, it is 30,000 per month, and other benefits remain unchanged. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was completely shocked and even stuttered when he spoke. A month, 30,000. Yes, 30,000 after tax. I'm a little envious of you. Looking at Ji Yukan, who was a little dazed in front of her, she did not hide the envy in her eyes. What is Ji Yukan's background? I heard that it was directly assigned by the general manager. The chairman came here today, isn't it because of this matter? Impossible, impossible. Such a small matter is not worthy of the chairman's personal involvement. However, Ji Yukan's background must be complicated. You should try to win him over in the future, but don't have any improper thoughts about him, even though he is really handsome. Leave the HR department. Ji Yukan returned to his dormitory in a daze. He usually likes to be clean, but today he didn't even change his clothes and just lay down on the bed. When I was leaving just now, didn't Manager Lu say that he would provide me with a car? Is all this true? Or am I dreaming and haven't woken up yet? Then, without thinking, he slapped himself in the face. Oh, that hurts. Ji Yukan couldn't help but let out a low cry. I'm not dreaming, this is real. No wonder he was so incredulous. He was born in a rural area, and in Suzhou, he was a university graduate with no background or education. I just started working here? I can earn 30,000 a month. In the city of Suchin, I'm afraid they can be considered senior white-collar workers, at the top level. Bang. The dormitory door was pushed open forcefully. Fang Hong ran into the dormitory in a hurry. Seeing Ji Yukan lying on the bed, his eyes lit up and he immediately shouted excitedly. Ji Yukan. Explain it to me. Are you lying? What are you talking about? It's so nonsensical. Seeing that he didn't admit it, Fang Hong immediately became anxious, stepped forward and grabbed him, and said excitedly. I just got off work and I heard that you were promoted to assistant to the chairman. Tell me quickly, is it true? Ji Yukan really didn't expect that he was so well informed. He himself knew the news, but only an hour ago. Well, I was just called over by the Human Resources Department to be notified. Seeing that Ji Yukan confirmed it, Fang Hong said incoherently. Say. Are you some hidden boss? Or maybe he is some rich second-generation guy who pretends to be poor to deceive my feelings. Can't you tell whether I am really poor or just pretending to be poor? Yeah, that's true. How is that possible? You are just a young boy, and except for being a little more handsome than me, you are not as good as me in any other way. How come such a good thing happened to you? Ji Yukan looked at him innocently, as if asking, how would I know? Fang Hong was so angry that she sat down on his bed, still somewhat unwillingly guessing. Ji Yukan, do you think the chairman has taken a fancy to you? I haven't even met the chairman of Bomei, how could he have the chance to take a fancy to me? Hearing that Fang Hong was already making serious guesses, Ji Yukan rolled his eyes. Get up, I have misophobia, don't you know? If you keep guessing like this, I'm afraid all the women in the world will be interested in me. Fang Hong stood up frustratedly and sat back in her chair. That's right. You didn't even have a chance to meet the chairman, so how could you possibly have any intersection with him? Ji Yukan breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that he had finally given up his curiosity. I quickly got up and went to the bathroom, where I gave myself a cold shower to wake myself up. Lie in bed. Ji Yukan picked up his phone and couldn't wait to share it with his aunt. Auntie, are you there? Are you there? Jumps. Seeing that the aunt did not reply to him immediately, he continued. I have good news for you. Do you want to hear it? Grin. Moment. Their ding-dong message reply sound rang out. What's wrong? Why are you so excited? Question. Hey, I don't have to be fired. Victory. Really? Did your beautiful manager let you go? Surprised. I don't know about that. But the company's top management actually promoted me to the position of assistant to the chairman. Grin. Really? So amazing. Applause. I also didn't expect that such a good thing would happen to me. Dizzy. That's great. This way, you can work in Pomeranian with peace of mind. So that no one will be thinking about you all the time and making you worry. Zwahum. My roommate was just wondering if the chairman of the board was interested in me. Shy. Chapter 9. No matter who comes, I only have you in my heart. Har har. He was just guessing. Auntie, you wouldn't really believe it. Chuckling. That's not necessarily true. Maybe he is right. Right hum. Don't worry. You are the only one in my heart. I don't like anyone who comes, even the chairman. Kiss. I don't believe it. If she really likes you, would you dare to resist? I'm about to cry. I'm not kidding. Seriously. No matter who comes, it's useless. I only have you in my heart. Love you. Okay. I was just kidding you, why are you taking it so seriously? This is so embarrassing. After seeing his aunt's reply, Ji-Yukan finally felt relieved. It seems that she is really not angry anymore. My aunt probably likes me, but she just doesn't want to admit it. Ji-Yukan, you have to work hard. Try to marry Aunt home as soon as possible. Auntie, what were you doing just now? Why are you so slow in replying to messages? Question. I'm taking a photo, so I can't look at my phone. Shy. I want to see. Bitter. Yeah. Shy. Early morning. In the men's dormitory. Ji-Yukan looked at himself in the mirror several times, and when he felt that he was almost there, he patted his chest. Come on, it's your first day as an assistant, you must perform well. Fang Hong, who was wearing shorts, yawned and looked at Ji-Yukan and said. Being an assistant is different, my temperament is better than before. But your suit is a bit too tight, you should change it when you have time. Ji-Yukan walked out of the bathroom and unconsciously straightened his cuffs. Forget it, I just bought this suit not long ago, there's no need to buy a new one. Hurry up, or you'll be late. I'll wait for you at the breakfast stand. Fang Hong walked into the bathroom while rubbing her messy hair. 2 fried dough sticks and a bowl of soy milk. Ji-Yukan shook his head and left the dormitory with a helpless look on his face. Bomei Group. General Manager's office. Boom boom boom. Come in. Ji-Yukan took a few deep breaths and slowly opened the door. I saw a short-haired beauty wearing a high-end OL professional suit. Russell. Holding a pen, he was correcting documents with a serious look on his face. Sit down. Without even raising her head, she spoke directly to Ji-Yukan. After sitting down, Ji-Yukan saw that her attention was not on him, so he dared to look at her carefully. Looking at her appearance, she is no worse than Xiaonan, and her temperament is even better than Xiaonan. If he hadn't read her information, Ji-Yukan wouldn't have dared to imagine that this was a divorced mother in her 40s with a child. General Manager Yi, I'm Ji-Yukan. I'm promoting you to be the chairman's assistant, aren't you surprised? Well, to be honest with you, General Manager, it is a little bit. I have thought about it over and over again, and there is really nothing that any company would value about me. You speak truthfully. I don't find anything eye-catching about you. Hearing this, Ji-Yukan was stunned, frowned slightly, and couldn't help but feel puzzled. What does this general manager mean? It seems that she is somewhat dissatisfied with me. Could it be that someone really has a crush on me? No way. How can I do my job in the future if the general manager is already disgusted by the person before he even arrives? She put down her pen, seemed to take a moment to relax, and looked up at Ji-Yukan. Ji-Yukan quickly sat up straight, his eyes on his nose and his nose on his heart, not daring to look around anymore. Yes, he is very handsome. However, appearance alone is not enough, ability is what the company values most. I am grateful to the company for giving me this opportunity. I will definitely work hard to make my own contribution to the group. Anyone can say nice things, let's see how you perform in the future. After saying that, he no longer paid attention to Ji-Yukan and lowered his head to continue with the work at hand. Go out and find my secretary directly. She will arrange your next work. Hearing this, Ji-Yukan felt relieved and quickly stood up and said. Okay, General Manager. I'll be leaving first. Ji Yukon closed the office door gently and let out a long sigh. The aura of this general manager is too strong. Much scarier than my primary school teacher. Judging from her attitude towards me, my future work may not be so easy. I must be more careful and cautious in what I do next time, and never let her catch me making any mistakes and fire me. Ji Yukon found the general manager's secretary with a nervous mood. I saw a beautiful woman in a pink arm-wrapped dress, smiling and talking on the phone. Seeing that she was still busy, Ji Yukon didn't dare to move and just stood straight in front of her. There are so many beautiful Pomeranians. The person in front of me is another school beauty level troublemaker. Those lips and that enchanting figure, I'm afraid any man would be unable to resist seeing them. Unfortunately, I am a married woman. You fairies, please stop using your charm. At this time, Fan Manyun was making an appointment with the secretary of a big boss. From time to time, she glanced at the handsome boy in front of her with a seductive look, thinking to herself, "This must be the assistant to the chairman who was promoted yesterday. He is so handsome, especially his long legs, they are so eye-catching. I'm afraid that the female perverts in the company have already been aroused. What a pity. It seems that someone has already taken a fancy to such a good man, and you are probably going to be disappointed." Seeing that she had finished the call, Ji Yukon said respectfully, "Beautiful sister, I am the new assistant to the chairman. Just now the general manager asked me to come to you and said you would arrange a job for me." Looking at the handsome boy, he seems to be quite immature in his speech and actions. Fan Manyun really liked him. She stared at Ji Yukon's face with charming eyes and smiled slightly. "Ji Yukon, right? Everyone in the company already knows about your promotion. I guess now, no one doesn't he know you? Oh, so exaggerated. So you didn't know yet? Then you better be careful, don't let anyone eat you." Seeing Ji Yukon's cute confused look. Cluck. Fan Manyun couldn't help but chuckle. "Okay, I was just kidding." He then stood up, took Ji Yukon and took the elevator to the top floor of the company. "Your office is across from the chairman's room. I have asked someone to put the information you need to be familiar with recently in the office for you. You will not be assigned any specific work this week. You should get familiar with the new working environment first. You will be busy starting next week." Hearing this, Ji Yukon quickly nodded and said, "Okay, thank you, Sister Fan." Fan Manyun glanced at him charmingly and said with a smile, "Then you can go in by yourself. My sister has something else to do, so I'll leave first." Ji Yukon watched the graceful figure disappearing and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The people in the company do things very efficiently. Then, he strode forward and opened the door to the office where he would be working in the future. The spacious space that came into his sight completely shocked him. No way, this is the office of the chairman's assistant. This is too luxurious. Chapter 10, Auntie, why are you still not married at the age of 40? Looking at the spacious, bright and luxurious office in front of him, Ji Yukon couldn't help but pinch himself. Well, I wasn't dreaming. This treatment is too good. I feel a little guilty now. If I don't work hard, I'll look down on myself. This treatment is so hateful. Looking at the large desk in front of him, Ji Yukon unconsciously sat on the low-key and luxurious boss chair. I closed my eyes and carefully felt the comfort coming from my body, and I couldn't help but think of a slogan for a sofa advertisement. Sit in my cozy embrace and enjoy unparalleled relaxation. My sofa is the ultimate in comfort. This feeling is really great. When you're working hard, time flies. Ji Yukon stretched and saw that it was time to get off work, so he stood up and packed his things. This kind of environment is comfortable, but it's a bit too lonely for one person. No wonder the chairman of Bomei doesn't like to come to the company. If you stay in the office every day, it will be boring. This chairman doesn't he even know what this beautiful woman looks like? I should have a chance to meet her in the future. There is a long way to go, no rush. Ji Yukon took the elevator and came to Fan Manyun's secretary office. She just sent a message, asking Ji Yukon to come find her after get off work. At this time, Ji Yukon arrived at the office and saw an empty room without any sign of Fan Manyun. I was just about to call and ask. Ding ling ling. Hello, is this Miss Fan? It's a company-provided car, right? Okay, I'll look for it. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukon searched carefully and found a Mercedes-Benz car key in front of the desk. Picking up the car keys, a hint of excitement appeared in his eyes. No man would not be interested in cars, and he is no exception. Ji Yukan was somewhat impatient to find a car. Ding dong. The sound of a cell phone message came. It turned out to be a text message from Fang Hong, waiting for him to go back together. Ji Yukan casually replied, asking him to wait in the parking lot. Took the elevator down to the parking lot. At this time, Fang Hong was even more excited than him and was waiting in the parking lot. The company also provided you with a car. Yeah. I just got the car keys too, let's go together. When Fang Hong saw the car keys in Ji Yukan's hand, she immediately snatched them away and looked at them over and over again. It's Ben Kai. Your benefits as the chairman's assistant are too good. I didn't expect the company to provide so many special benefits. You are so enviable. Let's go, I can't wait to test drive it. After searching for a long time, the two finally stopped in front of an all-black SUV. It's the latest model of GLS for 50. This should be the one. Let's get in. You don't have the skills, I'll drive. Fang Hong grabbed the driving rights for the first time, got in the car excitedly and started the engine. On their way back to school, veteran driver Fang Hong was driving while touching here and there from time to time. Seeing this, Ji Yukan was a little worried about his own safety and quickly reminded. You can still drive properly, can you stop being distracted? I want to drive properly, but I can't help it. Ji Yukan looked at his good friend speechlessly, his hands unconsciously gripping the handrail. Do you know what the big news in the company is today? How should I know? Hey, it's you? Yes. You, a newly employed graduate, have been promoted to assistant to the chairman. This melon is not big enough. Hearing this, Ji Yukan thought about it himself and felt that it was indeed quite exciting. Seeing that he didn't say anything, Fang Hong continued to gloat over his misfortune. You know what the company is telling you? What did you say? Some people say you are the chairman's illegitimate son. I'm going crazy. My mother has this hidden identity, how come I don't know about it? Of course I believe you. But outsiders don't think so, and their claims are very convincing. If I were really the chairman's son, she would be 40 this year, so she would have given birth to me at the age of 18. Why can't I? Oh, that's not legal. Fang Hong said, TSK, with disdain. Do you remember the possibility I guessed yesterday? What? The chairman has taken a fancy to you. This possibility is not as reliable as saying that I am the chairman's son. That's right. No matter what, you are now a prominent figure in Pomeranian. Hearing this, Ji Yukan sighed heavily. Fang Hong glanced at him and asked doubtfully. Why, you look unhappy. What is there to be happy about? Everyone is watching, and if you make the slightest mistake, it will be magnified infinitely. Hearing this, Fang Hong nodded and agreed. That's right, we are not free to do anything. In the dormitory, Ji Yukan, who had already washed up and was lying on the bed, took out his cell phone. Opened the chat software. Auntie, are you there? Poor. Yeah. How did you feel about your first day as an assistant? Excited. At first it felt pretty good, like a dream. A luxurious office, a luxury car. Dazed. From what you said, you are not very happy. Surprised. No. I just feel a little bit scared, thinking that I can really have these things. Scared. These companies don't give them to you, they just let you use them. Sweating. That's what I said. Auntie, you know that my family has been poor since I was a child, and I have never seen any good things. The first day I came to Suzhou, I was blinded. All that I have now is something I would never have dared to imagine in my lifetime. Then work hard. Make yourself feel at ease and have all this. Struggle. Auntie, thank you for your encouragement. I will work hard. Happy. That's right. Young man, I'm rooting for you. Fist. Ji Yukan felt warm in his heart when he saw his aunt's encouragement. The previously suppressed urge to marry my aunt surfaced again. His fingers unconsciously typed out another string of love words. I was about to click send, but I resisted the urge to delete them all. Ding dong. Why did you suddenly stop talking? Question. Looking at the message from his aunt, Ji Yukan thought for a moment and gritted his teeth before sending. Auntie, I have always been curious. Why is it that a woman who is 40 years old still hasn't married and had children? Question. This time, Auntie was a little slow in replying. Why do you suddenly ask this question? Awkward. Auntie, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about you. Our chairman is 40 years old and still single. I was just a little curious. So embarrassing. Maybe, she just didn't find the one she loved. Heartbroken. Auntie, how can I know whether I love someone or not? Question. I don't know either. Maybe I just want to see him happy every day. Ji Yukan looked at the phone screen in silence. I think, love someone. I just want to be with her every day and face everything that life brings together. Maybe? Chapter 11. Mr. Yi, you are messing with people's mentality. Bomei Building. Office of Assistant to the Chairman. Ji Yukan pushed open the door of his new office again. Yesterday, I had already worked here for a whole day. Seeing it again today, I still feel that everything is so dreamy. Sitting in his boss chair, Ji Yukan opened Pomeranian's information. The appearance of Pomeranian is also a very magical experience. 20 years ago, Xia Jiqiu, the chairman of Bomei, suddenly appeared in Suqing City. She was only 20 years old at the time, and had no resources or connections. However, in just 3 years, Bomei has emerged as a dark horse in the women's underwear brand market and has established a firm foothold in Suzhou. The subsequent development speed was even more astonishing. In just 10 years, Bomei has expanded from its basic underwear brand to high-end brands such as women's professional suits and evening gowns for formal occasions. In the following 10 years, relying on the rise of e-commerce, the company deepened its presence in vertical fields and sinking markets, and created many sub-brands that are popular among women. Expert analysis was done afterwards. Bomei's sudden rise is entirely due to Xia Jiqiu's keen sense of the female market and his precise control of the market. This is something that ordinary companies cannot replicate. After reading the information, Ji Yukan stretched lazily and let out a long breath. Now, Ji Yukan's feelings towards this mysterious chairman are no longer just curiosity, but deep admiration. This is the rhythm of knowing the future development direction of the market clearly, positioning oneself accurately, and taking over each piece of territory quickly and accurately. I heard that the chairman also studied economics, but he seems to be from Beijing. Why did you come to Suzhou, an ordinary city that has just entered the new first tier, to develop your own business? Xiao Qianlin sat in the office, talking to himself. Then he stood up and walked to the large floor-to-ceiling window in the office, overlooking the entire city of Su. Who cares? I am lucky to be able to work in a company like Bomei. Work hard. The future of Pomeranians will definitely have my contribution in it, and I will set sail here. Boom boom boom. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Come in. Fan Manyun walked into Ji Yukan's office with charming steps. Assistant Ji Yu, you are so interested in enjoying the scenery of Su City. Sister Fan, please stop making fun of me. Fan Manyun was holding a black suit in her hand at this time, and it was obvious from the material that it was expensive. She stared at Ji Yukan with her beautiful eyes, looked him over, and smiled slightly. This suit is specially prepared for you. Try it on and see if it fits you. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was startled and looked at the charming secretary in front of him with a puzzled look. This is the chairman's order. This set is made according to your size. There are 10 more sets at the back for you to wear during work. Oh, the company's treatment has always been so good. Hearing Ji Yukan's words, the charming Fan Manyun was also wondering in her heart. You ask me, who should I ask? I have never seen any employee in the company who is treated like you. It's almost as good as General Manager Yi's benefits. Fortunately, the specifications are not as high as Mr. Yi's, otherwise people would really suspect that you are the chairman's illegitimate son. It's given to you by the company, so just keep it. There are so many people who want it but don't have it yet. Seeing that there seemed to be some impatience in her tone, Ji Yukan did not dare to ask more questions. He took the clothes and walked into his own lounge. Speaking of this assistant's private lounge, Ji Yukan couldn't help but sigh again at Bomei's wealth. This luxurious decoration is probably similar to that of the presidential suite, although he has never lived in one. When Ji Yukan changed into his new suit and came out again, his whole temperament was several levels higher than before. Fan Manyun's beautiful eyes were so charming that she almost wanted to eat him up. Thank you, Sister Fan. The clothes fit me very well. That's right. My sister's eyes are as precise as a ruler. I just didn't expect that this dress could bring out your temperament so well. Sister Fan, you are too kind. All right, it's beautiful. Come with me, Mr. Yi wants to talk to you about something. After saying this, she suppressed the throbbing in her heart, moved her beautiful eyes away, and took Ji Yukan to see Yi Lingyao. Boom boom boom. Come in. Ji Yukan, wearing a new suit, walked into the general manager's office. At this time, Yi Lingyao didn't seem to be busy. She was drinking coffee and watching Ji Yukan walk step by step to the table. Boss Yi, you're looking for me. I didn't expect that after putting on new clothes, I felt more energetic. Yi Lingyao looked at Ji Yukan now with a strange look in her eyes. However, there seemed to be a hint of fear hidden in the deepest part of his eyes. Sit down. Seeing Ji Yukan sit down, Yi Lingyao never took her eyes off him. You have been looking at the company's information for a day. What do you think about Pomeranian's future? Hearing this, Ji Yukan was shocked and secretly complained in his heart. I have only been in Pomeranian for a week, so what good opinions can I expect? I've only been exposed to the internal information for one day, and even if I've read the information, I haven't finished reading it all. And now you're asking for my opinion? Based on the information I have at hand now, Bomei's focus in the next few years will definitely be on new media. Yi Lingyao didn't react much to Ji Yukan's words, and said calmly. Really? Tell me more about it. I think the company should further expand Bomei's popularity through the short video platform in a matrix manner. Through live streaming, we can make the brand impression deeply rooted in the hearts of every female customer and increase the recognition of our brand. After Ji Yukan finished talking about his thoughts, his mouth was dry. Seeing that Yi Lingyao still had an expressionless expression, Ji Yukan felt a little uneasy. What does Mr. Yi mean? Okay? At least show some attitude, this is really annoying. Yi Lingyao seemed to enjoy seeing Ji Yukan's conflicted look, with the corners of her mouth slightly raised. That sounds quite like it. But it's all nonsense and has no practical use at all. If Pomeranian really did what they said, they would have closed down long ago. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was a little surprised. But I just felt that Mr. Yi's words were very sharp, but I didn't feel much frustration. Because his statements are only in general terms. I am not clear about the details of each specific department of Pomeranian, so of course I cannot make a detailed plan. Seeing that her words did not hit Ji Yukan, Yi Lingyao's eyes flashed with a hint of unwillingness. At your current level, even if you become an assistant, you will be kicked out within a few days. In the future, I will study hard and understand all matters related to Pomeranian. If you still don't make any progress, I'll be the first one to get rid of you. Hearing this, Ji Yukan quickly stood up and said yes. Chapter 12 Auntie, do you know our President Yi? Gently closing the general manager's door, Ji Yukan let out a deep breath. I saw Fan Manyun twisting her waist and walking towards him. Ji Yukan sometimes wondered, isn't she afraid of breaking her waist by doing this? Why, were you scolded by Mr. Yi? No, it just urged me to study hard and do my job well. Really? Fan Manyun's eyes were charming and she stared at his face with a smile on her face. I don't know if she was pondering his words or blatantly admiring his face. Boss Yi is like this, he's quite strict, don't take it personally. Don't worry, I understand. We are all doing this for the good of Pomeranian's future. Okay, I understand. Work hard, I'm rooting for you. After saying that, she patted Ji Yukan's shoulder gently, turned around and left him with a graceful back. Ji Yukan returned to his luxurious office again and spent the whole morning looking at documents. Look, it's lunchtime. Ji Yukan took the elevator and came to the staff cafeteria. In fact, he could go to the small restaurant on the upper floor to eat now. But at noon today, Fang Hong asked him to eat at an ordinary restaurant. He didn't mind and came over directly wearing his new suit. I don't know if Ji Yukan is just overthinking it. He just felt that the noisy voices of the staff eating in the restaurant suddenly stopped when they saw him appear in the hall. Ji Yukan didn't think much about it. While he was eating, he saw Fang Hong waving at him and walked straight over. That's amazing, Assistant Ji Yu. I just asked you to change your clothes and bought them the next day. After saying that, he started to make some physical advances towards Ji Yukan, still admiring him in amazement. Okay, there's still oil on your hands, don't touch them. Although I didn't see the brand of your clothes, it should be quite expensive. The texture is amazing. Fang Hong sat back in her seat and asked curiously. I don't know. The company provided it to me and told me to wear it. Really? Are you sure you are not the chairman's son? Fang Hong widened her eyes in disbelief. Seeing this, Ji Yukan said unhappily. Do you want me to show you my household registration book? Sure, show it to me. Roll. Oh, okay. Ji Yukan was somewhat speechless as he looked at Fang Hong, who was acting cute. To be honest, your treatment is already top-notch. This is really too weird. Looking at Fang Hong, who suddenly became serious, Ji Yukan also fell into deep thought. It seems that we still need to test the waters. Things are indeed a bit strange, and it's not good to be so confused all the time. Something is wrong indeed. But I've just sat on the assistant and my feet are still not stable. It won't be too late to explore it after a while. Upon hearing this, Fang Hong nodded in agreement. Then, they started gossiping mysteriously again. Seeing that there was no one around, he whispered to Ji Yukan. Today, I got another big news. It's really explosive. Do you want to hear about it? Ji Yukan nodded cooperatively and let him continue. I knew you were interested too. You have met our Bome's general manager, Yi Lingyao. Yes, we just met this morning. Oh? Even though you're in your 40s, almost 50, you're still pretty. Say Melon. Okay. I heard that before Ms. Yi came to the company, she was just an ordinary full-time housewife who took care of the children at home. Later, her husband had an affair outside. Ms. Yi divorced her husband immediately and came to Suzhou with her child, where she met the chairman. This happened 10 years ago. Our chairman also has a good eye for talent and directly promoted her from an ordinary employee to be his assistant. Guess what? Within a few years, she became the general manager of the group and held the power of decision-making for Bome. Oh! So amazing! Suddenly, Ji Yukan felt that Fang Hong was looking at him with something strange in her eyes. Why, what's wrong with me? Don't you realize that this is very similar to your current situation? First you are the chairman's assistant, and you will be the general manager in the future. Bullshit. Just keep on bullshitting. Ji Yukan was helpless and rolled his eyes. Fang Hong didn't agree and continued. These data are known to ordinary employees of the company and are not considered explosive. The following news is really jaw-dropping. Ji Yukan looked at Fang Hong, who was full of anticipation, and had no choice but to cooperate and pretend to be very curious. According to rumors, General Manager Yi is a lesbian. And she is a couple with the chairman. TSK. That's all nonsense. Fang Hong, are you crazy, or did I hear you wrongly? Seeing Ji Yukan refute her with a look of disbelief, Fang Hong became a little anxious. Don't disbelieve it. Later I thought about it and realized that this is really possible. Really? Tell me the reason. Look. Why is our chairman still single? She must be grateful to Mr. Yi for his help. Also, the chairman never interfered in the daily operations of the company, leaving it all to Mr. Yi. Who else can have this kind of trust besides a lover? Well, there are other possibilities. After hearing Fang Hong's analysis, Ji Yukan was speechless and didn't know how to refute it. No way. That shouldn't be possible. If they were really a couple, it would be a pity. And just like that, the two of them quickly ended their lunch time. Everyone returned to their workstations and started their afternoon workday. Time flies. After get off work, Fang Hong once again enthusiastically helped Ji Yukan drive, and they returned to the dormitory together. Late at night, Ji Yukan, lying on the bed, opened the chat app on his mobile phone. Auntie, are you there? Grinning. Yeah. How was your work today? Question. Not bad, another day of studying hard. Dazed. What? From your tone, do you have any objections? Frightened. No, I was just sitting alone in the office reading documents, which was a bit lonely. So embarrassing. It's like this. After all, you have just taken the position of assistant, and there are still many things to learn, so just take it slow. Hug. I understand. I just haven't gotten used to this pace yet. It will be fine in a few days. Struggle. That's good. Come on. Fist. But I feel like our general manager doesn't like me very much. Sad. No way, why do you feel that way? Frightened. The way you looked at me yesterday was a little strange. Today he called me over and asked me what I thought about the future development direction of Pomeranian. I haven't even read all the information, so what substantive opinion can I have? I was scolded right away. Crying. It's okay, she is just like that, you don't have to take it too seriously. Hug. Seeing his aunt's reply, Ji Yukan was stunned and confused. What does auntie mean by this? Could it be that she also knows Yi Ling Yao? Or. Chapter 13, The Chairman's Secret Garden Villa. Auntie, are you also working in Pomeranian? Frightened. How is that possible? What are you guessing about? Arrogant. Why else do you seem to be very familiar with our CEO Yi? Question. She has come to our company before, and I have received her several times. Naughty. What is your aunt's company? Question. Huh? I agreed not to ask. If you ask again, I will ignore you. Left hum. If you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me. I'm just curious. I'm about to cry. Okay, I'll give you a reward, or something. Shy. Okay. Feeling wronged. Not happy. Arrogant. How could it be? I really want to see it. Bitter. That's more like it. Picking nose. Their ding-dong sound continued to ring. Ji Yukan clicked on the picture with pretended disdain. His eyes widened and he quickly pinched his nose with his hands, fearing that he would bleed again. Auntie, are you going for a workaday look today? Bitter. Why, you don't like it? Shy. I like it very much. Especially this pose, what are your new ideas? Surprised. Yeah. Are they prettier than those beauties in your company? Right hum. How can they compare to you? The difference is like heaven and earth. I love you. Since you are so good at talking, I will let you go tonight. Go to work peacefully, and don't look at any beauties. Arrogant. Yes, sir. Silly smile. No words were spoken that night. Beaumay, Office of Assistant to the Chairman. Russell. Ji Yukan was holding a pen and writing on paper, thinking about something seriously. Ding ling ling. The company's internal phone rang. Hello, I'm Ji Yukan. Sister Manyun, what's the matter? An important document was left in the chairman's villa. Okay, I'll get it right away. Hang up the phone. There was excitement in Ji Yukan's eyes. Finally, there is work to do. He actually went to the chairman's villa. This is really exciting. I wonder if I can meet the chairman in person? Then, without thinking any more, I picked up the car keys and got off the elevator. I first went to Fan Manyun's office, got the community pass and room card, and went straight to the parking lot. A black Mercedes-Benz at a speed of 60 miles per hour was speeding on the outer ring elevated road in Suzhou, where the minimum speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. At this time, the driver Ji Yukan in the car was already sweating on his palms as he held the steering wheel. It's not that he doesn't want to drive fast, but his skills don't allow it. It has been more than a year since he last touched a car, so how could he dare to speed up again? To be able to drive like this, I'm afraid even the driving school instructor would praise you for your talent. After getting off the elevated road, the car arrived at the suburbs of Suzhou. Looking at the Xingyuan Lake View Villa district in front of him, Ji Yukan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The reason why he knew about this villa area was that he found out about it by chance when he was writing his graduation thesis and doing market research. Although this villa area is a bit far from the market center, the prices are shockingly high. After a deeper understanding, I realized that this villa area is not only beautiful, but almost half of the wealthy people in Suzhou live here. After expressing his emotion, Ji Yukan drove to the chairman's villa under the strict inspection of the property security. The villa is located on a peninsula extending into the lake and is surrounded by lush woods. It makes people sigh that rich people really know how to enjoy life. The environment is good, but if it rains heavily and there is a flood, I don't know if the villa will be flooded. But the area seems a bit large, probably almost 1,000 square meters. To enter the villa gate, you have to pass through a large garden. I'm afraid that the internal garden alone is almost 500 square meters. Looking at this villa right in front of us, it doesn't appear to be particularly luxurious from the outside. Swipe the card to open the door of the villa. What comes into view is a spacious and bright living room with exquisite and simple decoration. Although the first impression is not particularly luxurious, the owner's demand for quality can be seen from the details. Resist the urge to explore the entire interior space of the villa. I went straight to the target and came to the tea table in the living room, where I saw a thick document. Ji Yukan was delighted. He checked and made sure everything was correct before leaving the villa with the document. At this time, in front of the floor-to-ceiling window on the third floor of the villa, there was a vague and graceful figure watching Ji Yukan drive away. This little guy is quite honest and doesn't wander around the villa. Ji Yukan was driving his Mercedes-Benz on a busy road in the city center, waiting for the traffic light. What a pity. I thought I could meet the legendary chairman. Judging from the taste of this villa, the owner should be a person who loves life, does not pursue luxury, and enjoys quality more. Just when Ji Yukan was bored and daydreaming, he caught a glimpse of a woman chatting and laughing intimately with a man. Yi Xiaohui. How come she is here? It seems a bit far from where she works. Who is the man next to her? Aren't their actions a bit too ambiguous? Ding ding ding. I heard a whistle urging me from behind. Without giving it any time to think, Ji Yukan stepped on the accelerator and drove away from the intersection. Looking at the two figures in the rearview mirror, his brows furrowed. The car arrived at Xinlong Building. Get off the car and close the door. Ji Yukan took the documents and took the elevator to the conference room on the 12th floor. Seeing that the meeting had already begun, Ji Yukan sat down next to Fan Manyun with a hunched back. Yi Lingyao glanced at him intentionally or unintentionally, and then paid no more attention to him. Seeing Ji Yukan coming, Fan Manyun breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Chan, thank you so much. I owe you a favor this time. Sister Fan, why are you being so polite to me? Just as the two were whispering, Yi Lingyao seemed to notice something and glanced at them again. Seeing this, the two of them hurriedly stopped their private communication and listened carefully to the content of the meeting. Today's business meeting is important. It is a joint meeting between Baomei Group and an internationally renowned cosmetics brand. On the stage, a male executive from the other company was explaining in a simple and clear way how the two brands could share their customer resources through a joint venture. But I don't know if it was Ji Yukan's illusion. I always felt that his eyes were glancing at Fan Manyun from time to time. Ji Yukan glanced at Fan Manyun out of the corner of his eye and saw that she didn't show any abnormal behavior and was looking at the stage with a smile on her face. Secretary Fan's charm is really not to be underestimated. The man on the stage was obviously interested in her and was using this opportunity to show off his charm to her. However, the executive on the stage was indeed very capable. What he said was easy to understand and made people feel that he was very powerful just by listening to him. The meeting was carried out in such a busy manner. During the meeting, Ji Yukan did not get distracted and listened very carefully. The meeting is over. Manyun, you and Ji Yukan go back to the company first. I still have something to discuss with their general manager. Okay, Mr. Yi. Just as the two were waiting for the elevator together, an enthusiastic voice suddenly came. Secretary Fan, wait a minute. Chapter 14 Fang Hong doesn't eat melons today. Hearing the shout, they both turned around to look in the direction of the sound. I saw the executive who had just given a speech on the stage walking towards them enthusiastically. Ji Yukan glanced at Fan Manyun intentionally or unintentionally. Ms. Fan, we meet again. Yes, Director Lin. You said very well today. I look forward to cooperating with your company in the future. No, Miss Fan, you are joking. I am just stating some facts. Director Lin is only in his early 30s, and he is really promising. I believe that in the future, he will definitely be a shining star of Xinlong Group. Thank you for your kind words. Miss Fan is not only beautiful, but also has admirable abilities. I wonder if you would be so kind as to have dinner with me. Director Lin, this is really unfortunate. Mr. Yi has some work assigned to me, and I need to work overtime to finish it. In that case, let's make an appointment another day. Miss Fan, I'll take you downstairs. Ji Yukan, who was standing aside, looked at Fan Manyun, who responded calmly and thought to himself. It seems that Sister Fan has dealt with such occasions many times. This lie was so natural that it seemed totally spontaneous and there was no trace of it at all. Parking lot. Ji Yukan drove the car and took Fan Manyun away from Xinlong Building. Sister Fan, you are really charming. That executive just now obviously had intentions towards you. Really? So what does Brother Chan think of his sister? After saying that, Fan Manyun threw a coquettish glance at Ji Yukan. Fortunately, Ji Yukan's attention was focused on driving, otherwise he would not have been able to hold the steering wheel steadily. Of course I think Sister Fan is very charming. I don't know how many people will fall under your spell, Sister Fan. Sister, of course I know my charm. But it's annoying to have to deal with these people every time. That can't be helped. Sister Fan is naturally beautiful. Brother Chan, you are so sweet. You must have talked about girlfriends a lot. Sister Fan, please stop making fun of me. I haven't even been in love before. Oh? Is this true? Of course it's true. I come from the countryside and my family is poor. I was busy working part-time while in school, so I didn't have time for a relationship. Hearing this, Fan Manyun suddenly fell silent. He looked at Ji Yukan seriously and then stopped talking. Seeing this, Ji Yukan was a little confused. Did I say something wrong? Forget it, why think so much? Maybe it's just Sister Fan who is thinking about something. The car quickly drove to Bomei Company. After getting off the car, the two said goodbye to each other. Fan Manyun drove her red BMW and left the Pomeranian parking lot. Ji Yukan, who was standing by, did not drive away immediately, but waited for Fang Hong to go back to the dormitory together. Not long after, Fang Hong, looking somewhat dejected, came out of the elevator. Ji Yukan asked curiously, "What's wrong with you? You look like you've been heartbroken." "Go away. Even if you get dumped, I won't be heartbroken." Seeing that he had no intention of driving, Ji Yukan continued to act as a driver. Along the way, Fang Hong actually started to play silent. Ji Yukan couldn't stand Fang Hong's sudden change and asked, "What's wrong with you? You're not even in the mood for gossip today." "Nothing, just feeling a little down." "Drive your car carefully, I don't trust your poor driving skills." Seeing him like this, Ji Yukan could only put aside his worries temporarily and drive seriously. After returning to the dormitory, Fang Hong sat down in front of her computer desk. "I didn't play any games, just browsed the web aimlessly." Seeing that he was silent and depressed, Ji Yukan did not ask any more questions and started cleaning. "After finishing everything and washing up, I just lay down." "Ji Yukan, are you still a friend? Can't you see I'm sad? You don't even bother to comfort me." Hearing this, Ji Yukan rolled his eyes. "How can I comfort you if you don't tell me what happened? Hey, what else can bother me now except women's affairs?" Hearing his words, Ji Yukan's heart moved and he remembered the scene he saw with Yi Xiaohui today. "What? Did you have a conflict with Yi Xiaohui?" Fang Hong didn't answer either. She just patted the edge of the bed and started changing her shoes. "Come drink and eat with me, I'll tell you later." "Well, since you, Mr. Fang, have spoken, I can only sacrifice my life to accompany you." Ji Yukan got up reluctantly, changed into his sportswear, and accompanied Fang Hong to the barbecue stall. "Don't you think women are asking for too much? What does Xiaohui want from you?" "Nothing. Just today, I was chatting with Xiaohui and suddenly the issue of betrothal gifts came up." Hearing this, Ji Yukan glanced at Fang Hong and said, "Why, how much gift did Xiaohui ask you for?" Fang Hong blew a bottle of beer directly, wiped the corner of his mouth, and then said, "Well, you know what kind of family I come from. My parents are just ordinary workers. Although they are local residents, my parents don't have much savings. Even if I sell my old house now, it's not enough to buy a house in the city. It seems that Xiaohui requires you to have a house. More than just a house. If you want to get married, you must have a house in the city. You must also prepare a car worth 300,000 yuan in advance. The bride price is even more outrageous. She said that according to the custom in her hometown, the man must pay at least 1 million. Well, this is a bit exaggerated." Fang Hong then filled her glass again, drank it, and continued. "She really thinks I'm a rich second generation. I've only been working for a short time, so how could I have any money? Even if I work for another year or two, unless I sell my parents' old house, maybe I can barely come up with enough for the down payment. However, I will never let my parents sell the old house." Hearing Fang Hong complaining, Ji Yukan recalled the scene during the day and felt conflicted. In the end, should I tell Fang Hong about this? Obviously, Xiaohui has begun to become a little indecisive. Before, when she was dating Fang Hong, he disliked Yi Xiaohui a little. Every now and then, there was something wrong with the way he looked, which made him feel bad. Forget it. I don't have any evidence. If I tell you, I'll just be destroying the relationship between the couple. Late at night, Ji Yukan carried the drunk Fang Hong back to the dormitory. After finally dealing with the drunk, Ji Yukan had to wash up again and lie down on the bed. I was staring at the dark ceiling in a daze. Ding dong. Ji Yukan picked up the phone and saw the message from his aunt. Are you there? Haven't you returned to the dormitory yet? Question. Seeing his aunt's concern, Ji Yukan's face lit up with joy and he replied. Just got back. My roommate was drunk, and I just took him down. Knocking head. I remember you said your roommates don't like drinking. What happened today? Frightened. Ji Yukan paused and hesitated. After all, this is Fang Hong's private matter, and I don't know if it is appropriate to tell my aunt about it. Forget it, auntie doesn't know Fang Hong, and this kind of gift price issue is even more common. Hey, why else? It's about the bride price for women. Shut up. Chapter 15. Auntie, you look so elegant in Cheongsam. Is the woman's request too high? Question. Well, my roommate's family are all ordinary workers. The woman asked for a dowry of 1 million yuan, a car and a house. Scared. Well, for a freshly graduated college student, it is indeed too much. Cold sweat. Who said it wasn't? I don't think highly of them. Shut up. How do you say it? Question. Today I happened to be on the street and saw my roommate's girlfriend being a little too intimate with a man. Angry. Is there such a thing? Have you told your roommate? Angry. Not yet. I am still struggling with whether to tell you or not. Sad. Indeed. It's hard to say about this kind of thing. It could be a misunderstanding. Hug. Well, let us not talk about him. Auntie, guess where I went today? Grin. Could it be that going to the palace makes you so excited? Surprised. Oh, it's almost like a palace. Our chairman's villa. Proud. Why, you're envious. Dazed. Of course, who doesn't want a villa of their own? Dizzy. I heard that Bome's chairman is still single. If you can get close to her, you can have a villa. Zwahum. Forget it, I have you, my aunt, and that's enough. If I want something, I can get it through my own efforts. Maybe you won't be able to have it in this life, but at least you have fought for it. Struggle. You are really ambitious. Come on. Kiss. Then is there any reward? Bitter. Hate it. Shy. Ding dong. Ji Yukan opened the picture again with excitement. Today's private photos surprised him a little. They all have Chinese temperament style. This Cheongsam looks really good on the aunt, which makes Ji Yukan even more eager to try it. Auntie, I find that you look really elegant in Cheongsam. Bitter. Are you sure it's not a bitter temperament? Right. Of course not, although your shy pictures are very nice. But when you wear a Cheongsam, you don't even need to pose, every angle is just right, it's so elegant. Strong? Look how good you are at talking. Next time I will take more photos of the Shy Cheongsam series. Shy. Yeah. Kiss. Morning. Bome Group, General Manager S office. Ji Yukan, what's wrong with you? Who told you to go to the chairman's villa? Well, I heard that this document is very important. I was worried that you might need it urgently, so I went directly to the villa to get it. Looking at Yilingyao's angry face, Ji Yukan was a little confused. But in order not to drag down Fan Manyun, he could only explain it this way. Upon hearing this, Yilingya slammed the table and stood up, looking at Ji Yukan with anger on her face. Manyun asked you to get it. She is becoming more and more outrageous now. She has no sense of propriety in doing things. Just wait and see how I deal with her. Boss Yi, it's all my fault. I went to the villa area without permission. I didn't expect things to be so serious. I apologize to you. Hearing this, Yi Lingyao looked at him with some surprise, as if she didn't expect that he would take the responsibility on himself. The face that was angry just now suddenly became calm, and he looked at Ji Yukan deeply. Next time, you are not allowed to go to the chairman's villa without my permission. Do you hear me? Seeing this, Ji Yukan hurriedly nodded in agreement. Go out and call Fan Manyun in. Seeing that Yi Lingyao didn't seem to have any intention of letting Fan Manyan go, Ji Yukan had no choice but to leave the general manager's office. At this time, Fan Manyan was already waiting outside the door. Seeing Ji Yukan coming out, he gave him an okay gesture to show that he was relieved. She twisted her slender waist and walked into the office. Fan Manyan, you are now. As the office door closed, Ji Yukan could no longer hear what was being said inside. I was stunned for a moment. Ji Yukan didn't stop and took the elevator to his office. Sitting at his desk, Ji Yukan had no intention of working at this moment and was thinking secretly. What the hell is wrong with Mr. Yi? Isn't it just going to the chairman's villa to get some documents? Is it necessary to get so angry? Could it be that there is some unspeakable secret in the villa? This Mr. Yi gave me a strange feeling from the first time we met. The way he looks at me always reveals some very strange meanings. What is the problem? I found myself unable to come up with any result. Ji Yukan shook his head, stopped thinking about random things, and immersed himself in the research materials. When it was time to go to work, nothing unexpected happened. A working day passes quickly. Ji Yukan took his bag and drove away from Bomei building. Today, Fang Hong told him that she would not go back to the dormitory, as she seemed to have some personal matters to deal with. He was happy to be his own driver and drive freely on the streets of Suzhou. He doesn't plan to go back to the dormitory too early today. I have been in Suqing for so long, but I am still very unfamiliar with this city. Looking at the bustling streets in front of him, Ji Yukan recalled the scene when he first came to this city. At that time, I had just turned 18. Bringing the local specialties prepared by the villagers for him. Carrying lots of luggage, I took a 2-day green train ride to reach Suzhou. He still remembered the disgusted looks those people had on his outfit. However, he doesn't really care. For years of college. In fact, his main area of activities is still around the university town. I am not very familiar with other areas of Suqing City, so I rely on navigation to get around. Now, I am beginning to feel familiar with this city. Just as he was sitting in the car, looking around aimlessly. Suddenly, Yi Xiaohui and the man from before were seen walking hand in hand on the street again. No way. What a coincidence. I met her again. It seems that there is really something wrong with this Yi Xiaohui. Immediately, Ji Yukan quickly slowed down the car, found a parking space, and parked it. This probably showed his best driving skills. He didn't waste even a minute, for fear of losing the person. Fortunately, the two men walked and stopped frequently and their speed was not very fast. Ji Yukan easily found them again and followed carefully behind them, fearing that they would be discovered. Unexpectedly, holding hands was still a small scene. From time to time, the two of them hugged each other. What's even more exaggerated is that they actually kissed each other in a place where no one was around. Ji Yukan followed the two of them from behind, and his hands were not idle either, as he kept taking pictures of the scene with his mobile phone. Finally, the two of them were seen walking into a hotel. Only then did Ji Yukan completely give up tracking. Back in his car, Ji Yukan looked through the photos he had taken on his phone. I felt a little heavy-hearted and didn't know how to talk to Fang Hong. Chapter 16, Failed Attempt to Catch an Adulterer in a Hotel? Ji Yukan instinctively opened the chat app on his phone. Auntie, are you there? Poor. Yes. Smile. I'm still outside. Sad. So late? Don't you usually go out at night? Question. I was driving around just now and ran into my roommate's girlfriend. She was flirting with a guy and they went into a hotel together. Angry. Auntie paused for a moment before sending the message. Have you figured out how to deal with it? Panic. I want to tell my roommate, but I'm afraid he'll get hurt. I don't know if I should tell him now. Pouting. If you are close friend, it would be better to tell him as soon as possible. Dazed. Yeah, I thought so too. Sad. Then, Ji Yukan became more and more angry and quickly said. Auntie, why do you think she did this? Angry. I don't know her, so it's hard to say. But I've seen a lot of girls like this. Cold sweat. Does playing with other people's feelings make her feel accomplished? Going crazy. As you enter society, you gain more experience and naturally face more temptations. Sad. Yes. There are indeed many temptations in society, and how many people can really keep their original intentions? Knock. What about you? Question. As for me, right now, I just want my family to live a good life. Grin. It's getting late, go back quickly. Hug. Yeah. Hug. Put down your phone. Ji Yukon started the car and drove towards the school. I opened the dormitory door absent-mindedly and found that the light was actually on. Ji Yukon, you're not in the dormitory so late, where have you been? Hearing Fang Hong's question, Ji Yukon was stunned and looked over. At this time, Fang Hong was already playing games at the computer desk. Didn't you say you weren't going back to the dormitory tonight? It seemed that the game was over and Fang Hong took off her headphones. He turned around and looked at Ji Yukon with a look of joy on his face. I went home for dinner today. I was planning to rest at home for the night, but guess what happened? How should I know that? Xiao Hui replied to my message. Oh, what did you say? What made you so excited? She said she forgave me and wasn't mad at me anymore. She also said that she was willing to work with me and develop well in Suzhou. You believe it? Why don't you believe it? Fang Hong looked at Ji Yukon strangely. She didn't understand what was wrong with him today and why he was talking so strangely. What's wrong with you? With that expression, is there something wrong at home? No, I'm fine at home. I was just driving around and saw something that made me unhappy. Hearing this, Fang Hong seemed to feel that there was more melon to eat, and her eyes showed surprise. Tell me quickly, what kind of thing could make a calm guy like you unhappy? Seeing this, Ji Yukon smiled bitterly in his heart. This time there is really a big melon to eat. And it's about your bad things. I don't know if you can still be so excited after hearing this. I saw Yi Xiaohui hugging a man while walking in the night market. Hearing this, Fang Hong's whole body trembled, with an incredible expression. Ji Yukon, you got the wrong person. I called her at night and she said she was in the rental house. Seeing Fang Hong's disbelieving look, Ji Yukon did not explain. He took out his mobile phone, opened the photo album, and handed the phone to Fang Hong. Fang Hong immediately reached out to take the phone, but suddenly, her hand stopped in mid-air. Ji Yukon saw the hesitation in his eyes, but it was better to suffer a short pain than a long one, so he stuffed the phone directly into his arms. Fang Hong then flipped through the photos on her phone one by one, and her expression became increasingly gloomy the more she looked. By the end, Fang Hong's face had turned pale and her eyes became a little dull. Seeing this, Ji Yukon hurriedly asked with concern, Fang Hong, are you okay? Ji Yukon, when did you take these photos? About 40 minutes ago. Fang Hong suddenly came to her senses and her face was filled with anger. He picked up his coat and walked out with Ji Yukon. Let's go, which hotel? I'm going to kill that bastard. Fang Hong, you can't go now. You need to calm down first. Seeing him like this, Ji Yukon quickly stopped him. He knew Fang Hong's personality and that she was easily impulsive. If they really blocked someone, Fang Hong might do something irrational. No, I can't help it. I have to go and see if all this is true. Seeing this, Ji Yukon was completely helpless and could only drive him to their hotel. On their way, Fang Hong was unusually silent the whole time and didn't say a word. This made Ji Yukon feel a little worried, as it was totally unlike his normal reaction. As soon as they arrived at the destination, Fang Hong couldn't wait to get off the car and ran into their hotel. Seeing this, Ji Yukon hurriedly found a place to park nearby. As soon as I ran to their hotel entrance, I saw Fang Hong arguing with the front desk staff. Ji Yukon hurriedly quickened his pace and rushed to the front desk. He could still hear the quarrel along the way. What's wrong with you? My girlfriend is staying in your hotel. When I asked her which room she was in, why couldn't you tell me? Sir, let me say it again. This is the privacy of our hotel guests and we have no right to disclose it. Your hotel is aiding and abetting the evil by doing this. Sir, please stop being unreasonable. If you don't leave, I will call the police. Ji Yukon hurried forward and hugged the angry Fang Hong, trying to stop him from acting rashly. Fang Hong, calm down. You can't solve any problems like this. Ji Yukon, leave me alone. Today, if they don't tell me which room Xiao Hui is in, I will smash their hotel. At this time, the hotel security personnel had rushed to the front desk. Seeing this, Ji Yukon hurriedly shouted to their hotel staff. Don't do anything. We mean no harm. It's just that my friend just found out about this and is still a little upset. I will calm him down. Everyone, please don't do anything. The security guards who rushed over all looked at the man who looked like a manager. Seeing that Ji Yukan was dressed very elegantly, this person thought he was not an ordinary person, so he did not dare to offend him too much. He nodded and asked the security guards not to take any action yet. Sir, I hope you can control your friend's emotions. If he continues to make trouble like this, we have the right to drive him out, otherwise it would be bad if he gets hurt. Hearing this, Fang Hong started yelling. What? You still want to fight me? Do you think I'm afraid? Come on, beat me to death if you can. Ji Yukan quickly covered his mouth and said apologetically. You should have figured out what's going on. I hope you can understand. I'll take him away right now. Chapter 17 Ji Yukan, what did you do to other girls? Ji Yukan did a lot of farm work when he was a child, and his strength is beyond the reach of Fang Hong. No matter how hard Fang Hong punched and kicked, she couldn't break free from him. Ji Yukan carried him directly out of the hotel. Ji Yukan, let me go. I want to kill this couple. Fang Hong, what problem can you solve like this? I don't care, just let me go. I want to ask Xiao Hui in person why she treated me like this. Before she could finish her words, Fang Hong started crying. They were not far from the hotel entrance, and there were many people coming in and out. Seeing two grown men hugging each other, one of them crying loudly, they all looked at them strangely. Seeing this, Ji Yukan couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. Looking at Fang Hong, who was crying sadly in his arms, he didn't want to just push her away. I had no choice but to endure everyone's strange looks and comfort Fang Hong. You'll feel better if you cry. Come on, let's sit over there first. The two sat on the edge of a flower bush, one crying and the other comforting. Although they were no longer hugging each other, they still attracted the attention of many passers-by. After a while, Fang Hong slowly stopped. He didn't say anything, but stared at the hotel gate with a dull look in his eyes. Seeing him like this, Ji Yukan thought to himself. Could it be that he didn't see Xiao Hui come out, so he had to wait outside all night? I still need to communicate with the hotel staff to see if it can be done conveniently. You sit here first. I'll go talk to them and see if they can make some adjustments. Seeing that Fang Hong didn't answer, Ji Yukan didn't care and got up and went into the hotel. Seeing that the manager was still at the front desk, Ji Yukan hurried forward and said, Manager, I'm really sorry for disrupting your normal work. I apologize to you for my friend's reckless behavior. The front desk manager, who was a little wary when he saw Ji Yukan coming back, felt relieved after hearing what Ji Yukan said. No need to apologize. Just keep an eye on your friend and don't let him do anything irrational. We are all men, and we should understand that no man can stand this kind of thing. We just want to know whether a person named Ji Xiaohui has checked into their hotel. This should not be considered as revealing customer information. Seeing that the manager was also a man, probably around 30 years old, Ji Yukan appealed to his emotions. The manager seemed to empathize. He gritted his teeth, glanced at the staff at the front desk, and whispered to Ji Yukan. Wait for me on the sofa over there. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was delighted and quickly thanked him. Moment. Ji Yukan, who was sitting on the sofa in the hotel, saw the front desk manager walking towards him. Are there any results? Yes. She did come. We booked the hourly room for an hour, but we checked out about half an hour ago. Hearing this, Ji Yukan's mouth twitched and he cursed inwardly. Just for an hour, you still have the nerve to come out and flirt with someone else's girlfriend. Oh. Yi Xiaohui is really not picky about food. Thank you very much. What's your phone number? I'll treat you to a meal next time. No need, go comfort your friend now. The manager waved at Ji Yukan and turned to leave. Ji Yukan walked out of the hotel with a heavy heart. Fang Hong was a little dazed at first, but when she saw him come out, her eyes lit up and she quickly stood up. What does the hotel say? Yeah. I booked a room for an hour and have been gone for more than half an hour. Hearing this, Fang Hong collapsed to the ground as if all her strength had been drained away. Ji Yukan didn't say anything else and just sat next to him. The two of them just sat there without saying a word, one looking at the ground, the other looking at the sky. Ji Yukan, do you think I'm stupid? She doesn't know how to cherish. Before, I thought I was so lucky to have such a caring girlfriend. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes. Have you figured out how to deal with it? Although the facts are before my eyes, I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I'll confront her tomorrow and see how she explains it. Will you forgive her? No man can get over this kind of thing. Have you thought it through? Then, you won't act impulsively again, right? Who knows? Come on, have a meal and drink with me. Go back and change your clothes first. Late at night. Fang Hong got drunk and didn't eat much, but she drank a box of wine. Ji Yukan couldn't help but think that even if it was water, drinking it like this would probably cause bloating to death. After dragging the drunk Fang Hong back to the dormitory and busying himself with work, Ji Yukan was finally able to lie down on the bed. Thinking about what happened today, I was speechless. I picked up my phone and saw several messages from my aunt. I was about to reply, but then I noticed it was already past 1 in the morning, so I gave up the idea. I locked my phone and fell into a deep sleep. The next day, Ji Yukan, who had just woken up, found that Fang Hong's bed was empty. I quickly got up and called him. Hello, is this Fang Hong? You've already gone home, right? Do you need me to ask for leave for you? Okay, just take your leave. Have a good rest at home. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan shook his head helplessly. Seeing that I was almost late, I quickly washed up and went out. I didn't even have time to eat breakfast and drove to the company. Around noon. Bomei, office of assistant to the chairman. At this time, Ji Yukan was texting with his aunt. I returned to the dorm too late last night, so I saw your message and didn't reply to you. So embarrassing. I was worried all night. Next time, no matter how late you come back to the dormitory, you must let me know that you are safe. Angry. I was wrong. I won't do that again. High five. HMPH, I'll let you off this time. How's your roommate? Question. I almost got into a fight with the hotel staff last night, but luckily I stopped them. Cold sweat. Is it that serious? Are you okay? Frightened. Nothing. His girlfriend is no longer in the hotel. Later, I watched him drink all night. Thank you for your hard work. Hug. As long as he can think positively, it doesn't matter if I work harder. Smile. In this kind of situation, he can only rely on himself to get out of it, no one else can help him or anything. Sad. Yeah. I think so too. Strong? Ding ling ling. The internal phone rang. Hello, I'm Ji Yukan. Okay, I'll be right there. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan was a little confused. What's wrong with Sister Fan today? She speaks in such a cold tone. I don't think I have offended her. Never mind, let us go over and see what you want from me. I went downstairs and came to Fan Manyan's office. At this time, she was leaning back in her office chair, with her arms crossed over her chest, looking at Ji Yukan with a questioning look. Sister Fan, why are you looking at me like that? Assistant Ji you are really capable. What good things have you done to other girls? After saying this, Fan Manyan's beautiful eyes looked at Ji Yukan even colder. Chapter 18. Ji Yukan, are you being kept by a rich woman? Looking at Fan Manyan in front of him, Ji Yukan was a little confused. Sister Fan, what do you mean by this? Why don't I understand? You're quite good at pretending. Just now, a very quiet girl came to the company's front desk looking for you with an angry face. She even said that it was all your fault. She won't leave until she sees you. After saying that, she stared at Ji Yukan with her beautiful eyes, as if she wanted to see through him. Explain what's going on. What? Seeing Ji Yukan's surprised expression, Fan Manyan frowned. Why, you really don't know her? I really don't know what's going on. Seeing that he didn't seem to be lying, Fan Manyan stroked her fair neck with her slender fingers, as if she was thinking about something. I've already stopped her for you. She's in the conference room. Come with me to take a look. As soon as she finished speaking, she stood up gracefully. Seeing this, Ji Yukan did not dare to delay and followed her to the private meeting room. Crunch. Open the door to the conference room. Ji Yukan saw a young girl with delicate features, who was sitting at the conference table with a fierce look on her face. It turned out to be Yi Xiaohui. But why did she come to see me? If Fang Hong has already confronted her, she shouldn't explain to him. What's the point of coming to me? When Yi Xiaohui saw Ji Yukan coming in, she immediately stood up angrily, pointed at his nose and started to curse. Ji Yukan, are you still Fang Hong's good friend? Why do you want to destroy our relationship? Hearing this, Ji Yukan frowned and looked at her with some disdain. You did it yourself, and I saw it, but you won't let me tell you. There's no need for an outsider like you to interfere in our affairs. What you said is interesting. My good friend was played by you. I helped him see your true face and made you ashamed to face others. As if Ji Yukan had hurt Yi Xiaohui, her face turned pale and her eyes seemed to be spitting fire. You poor bastard, you just can't stand seeing others doing well, so you deliberately want to break us up. Why, are you getting angry because I hit you right in the gut? Seeing the naked contempt in his eyes, Yi Xiaohui felt as if she had been extremely humiliated. Ji Yukan, why do you look down on me? Aren't all women like this nowadays? Do you know why you can't find a girlfriend? Apart from your good looks, what else do you have? You are poor and like to pretend to be noble, so it is destined that no woman will be interested in you in your life. Miss Yi, you don't need to worry about this. At least I won't have affairs with other men and women behind my girlfriend's back. Yi Xiaohui was completely crazy now, and pointed at Ji Yukan with trembling hands. You bastard! You're just jealous of our relationship. You will die a miserable death. When Fan Mannion heard Yi Xiaohui's first words, she knew that she had wronged Ji Yukan. I originally didn't want to ask about Ji Yukan's private affairs, but I didn't expect this woman to go further. Little girl, you better keep your mouth shut. You are greedy for fame and fortune, you can't control yourself, and you want to push the responsibility onto others. Seeing this incredibly charming and beautiful woman actually speaking up for Ji Yukan, Yi Xiaohui looked at the two of them and sneered. Why, auntie, are you attracted to him? Don't blame me for not reminding you, this guy has no money except for his good looks, he is just a poor guy with nothing to offer. Seeing that Fan Mannion was indifferent to her words, Yi Xiaohui stared at Ji Yukan and said suddenly. Ji Yukan, you look really glamorous now, this set of clothes you are wearing must be very expensive. Are you being kept by some rich old woman? You are such a slut. A cold light flashed in Fan Mannion's eyes, and she went up and slapped Yi Xiaohui. A bright red palm print instantly appeared on her cheek. Yi Xiaohui was stunned, and immediately covered her cheeks, and cried out with tears in her eyes. You two, this pair of bastards, will not have a good death. Just wait for me. After saying that, he trotted out the door. Assistant Ji Yu, I offended someone because of you. How are you going to repay your sister? Sister Fan, you don't have to do this. Why, you don't want to admit it. Thank you, Sister Fan, for standing up for me today. I'll treat you to a meal some other day. Can you men believe it, another day? Just tonight, my sister happens to be free. Ji Yukan's face turned bitter, and he looked at Fan Mannion who had already left and shouted. Sister Fan, I am a person who keeps my word. After get off work. Ji Yukan drove his black Mercedes-Benz and left the company. At this time, in the passenger seat, Fan Mannion was putting on makeup in front of the mirror. Sister Fan, what do you want to eat? It's up to you, sister. You can make the arrangements. Ji Yukan's face turned bitter. If a woman says it's up to her, that's the most difficult thing to arrange. After brainstorming, Ji Yukan gritted his teeth and wisely chose a Western restaurant. I didn't expect my brother to be so good at choosing places. The prices here are not low. I'm inviting Sister Fan to dinner. How can I be worthy of you if I'm not of a high enough standard? At this moment, Ji Yukan's heart was bleeding. This is a restaurant he saw recommended by a netizen online. I just realized the price is so expensive. There is no way out now, so I can only bite the bullet and bring Fan Mannion in to consume. Fan Mannion stared at his handsome face with a half smile, as if she could see through his current mood. Well, sister, I really have to thank my brother for spending money. You're welcome, sister. Looking at Ji Yukan's forced smile, Fan Mannion felt a little amused. This Ji Yukan is also real. The expression is written all over his face, but he is still holding on. He really looks like him when he just graduated, but unfortunately he changed later and I couldn't recognize him anymore. That girl today is your friend's girlfriend, right? Well, I saw her enter the hotel with a man in his 30s. It seems that your friend wanted to break up with her after finding out. She was so angry that she came to trouble you. I didn't expect that she would be such a person. People are like this. After something happens, they always push the responsibility onto others, as if that will make them feel at ease. It seems that Sister Fan is also a person with a story. My story is so long, do you have any wine? Sister, I'm allergic to alcohol. Hearing this, Fan Manyon rolled her eyes. Then watch me drink. Oh well. The dishes were soon served and the two chatted while eating. Brother, I'm curious. That little girl said that to you today, but I don't think you're too angry. What's there to be angry about? She's just telling the truth. Oh. Is your brother so calm? Don't you feel humiliated? I'm not that sensitive. Although I was born in the mountains and my family conditions were not good. But the whole family lives a happy life and enjoys the days of family reunion. God has given me all this, and I am already very grateful. What else can I be dissatisfied with? Hearing this, a strange light flashed in Fan Manyon's beautiful eyes. Chapter 19. Auntie, why are you jealous? After eating and drinking, Ji-Yukan drove Fan Manyon home. Fan Manyon, who was sitting in the passenger seat, found it funny when she thought of the distressed look on Ji-Yukan's face when he paid the bill just now. Brother, the food here is really delicious. How about you treat me to a meal next time? Oh. Why? Don't you want to? Sister, why don't I treat you to a meal after I get my salary? Puff. Fan Manyon couldn't help but giggle. Seeing her smiling face like a flower, Ji-Yukan couldn't help but admire her in his heart. Sister Fan should be just in her early 30s. This is when a woman is most attractive. Seeing her like this, the man probably couldn't help himself and wanted to pounce on her. Okay, sister knows you are poor, I will treat you to a meal next time. No. I will definitely treat you to a meal when I get my salary. Okay, then I'll be waiting for your feast. At this moment, there seemed to be a hint of doting in Fan Manyon's tone. Tianqin Garden Community. After getting off the car, Fan Manyon waved goodbye to Ji-Yukan. Looking at the car going away, Fan Manyon's eyes were a little dazed, as if she was recalling the past. I hope you won't be like him and lose yourself in the midst of luxury. I hope I can always keep my original intention. Return to the dormitory. Fang Hong sent a message to Ji-Yukan, saying that she would stay at home tonight and not return to the dormitory. Taking advantage of this rare opportunity, he started cleaning again. After a busy day, I washed up and lay comfortably on the bed. Pick up your phone. Auntie, I'm lying on the bed. Grin. It seems a little late again today. Zwahums. I am having dinner with my colleagues tonight. Dazed. Is that so? A beautiful colleague, right? Arrogant. Auntie, are you jealous? Shy. I am just an old lady, who cares about me? Sad. As for me, I love my aunt. I love you. You are surrounded by beautiful women every day, why do you like an old lady like me? Right No, I have always been very self-disciplined. I never even looked at them for a second. Rose. You really have never done anything unfaithful? Arrogant. No. Why would I do such a thing? Crazy. Hee. Smile. Seeing the message from his aunt, Ji-Yukan frowned. Auntie, what do you mean? I don't understand. Auntie, what happened to you today? Confused. Nothing, I'm fine. Who made you unhappy? Question. A very bad guy. Expletive. Then we will ignore him. Angry. That makes sense. Strong? Auntie, are there any benefits today? Bitter. Why do you think about these things all the time? Young people should be positive and stop thinking about these things all the time. Angry. Oh, Auntie, I was wrong. Sad. Well. Reflect on yourself. I'm sleepy. Okay, then good night, Auntie. Kiss. The next day. Office of Assistant to the Chairman. Ji-Yukan suppressed his fatigue and looked at the information in his hand. Last night, he tossed and turned, and the more he thought about it, the more he felt that something was wrong with his aunt, and as a result, he couldn't sleep. Boom boom boom. Come in. Looking at the still charming Fan Manyon, Ji-Yukan said listlessly. Sister Fan, is there something wrong? What happened to you? Did the goblin suck away your yang energy last night? Sister Fan, no more jokes. Okay. Ms. Yi is calling you. I can see that she doesn't look very well. You should be mentally prepared. Hearing this, Ji Yukon was shocked and rubbed his face vigorously. It looks like a storm is waiting for me. Did I steal her man? You are not happy with me. Come to the general manager's office. Boom boom boom. Come in. Ji Yukon took a deep breath and resolutely pushed open the office door. Boss Yi, you're looking for me. Ji Yukon, what's wrong with you? How come there are so many problems just after work? As soon as he entered the door, Ji Yukon was confused by Yi Lingyao's barrage of questions. Boss Yi, I didn't do anything. No. Do you think that Fan Manyun is keeping it a secret for you and I don't know about it? Hearing this, Ji Yukon was stunned and said uncertainly. Are you talking about Yi Xiaohui? That little girl's name is Yi Xiaohui, right? It's normal for young people to fall in love, I want to interfere. But it's not okay to bring it to the company. Seeing Yi Lingyao's misunderstanding, Ji Yukon hurriedly explained. Boss Yi, it's not what you think. What else can we do? Are we going to jump off the building? She's just my friend's girlfriend. What? You fucked your friend's woman? Ji Yukon, you can do it. No wonder others come to our company to cause trouble. Is it today that your friend is coming to beat you up? Ji Yukon was so anxious that cold sweat broke out on his forehead after being scolded by her. Boss Yi, I just saw her checking into a hotel with another man behind my friend's back. It's not as complicated as you think. Kindness. Hearing this, Yi Lingyao was stunned and looked at him with some scrutiny, as if trying to determine whether he was lying. Really, Mr. Yi? If you don't believe me, you can ask Secretary Fan. She was also present yesterday and heard everything from beginning to end. If that doesn't work, there are cameras in the conference room, you can check it out. Real. I really didn't lie to you. Yi Lingyao came back to her senses and pretended to cough twice, and a look of embarrassment flashed across her face. That won't work. It will affect the company as well. Don't get involved in these things again in the future. Seeing that Yi Lingyao finally believed it, Ji Yukon finally breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't know she would be so unreasonable. I will be careful next time. Well, I'm glad to know. Get out. Seeing Yi Lingyao's impatient look, Ji Yukon did not dare to neglect her and quickly said goodbye and left. Seeing him close the door, Yi Lingyao's eyes flickered. He walked to his desk and picked up his phone. What was unexpected was that the phone was still on a call. Now you are happy. I don't know what you like about this boy. He is just a young boy who is good looking but has no other merits. If you want to try something new, you can have a relationship. But don't get too involved. You have to understand that the two of you are destined to be impossible. Regardless of your family background or age, the two of you are not suitable. No, why are you angry? What I said is the truth, and I am doing this for your own good. Hang up the phone. Yi Lingyao stroked her beautiful chin and said to herself indignantly. Ji Yukon, right. Even if it's impossible for Jiqiu and I, it's impossible for you too. You'd better be careful and don't let me catch you, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Jiqiu is still a young boy like you, how can you care about him? Chapter 20, Auntie, can you go a little further? Ji Yukon felt a little listless and took the elevator to the top floor. Assistant Ji Yu, why are you more frustrated than before? Look at me more and I'll see if I can help you regain some energy. Sister Fan, you're making fun of me again. Why did Mr. Yi scold you again? Nothing, it's just that Yi Xiaohui came to the company yesterday and let the general manager know. Fan Manyun frowned slightly, her beautiful eyes showing doubts, and asked curiously. Oh? Didn't you explain it clearly to Mr. Yi? How can I not explain? It affects my reputation so much. In the end, Mr. Yi still told me to avoid causing trouble in the company. It's okay. You'll get used to it after being scolded a few times. Fan Manyun spoke earnestly and patted Ji Yukon's shoulder lightly. Sister Fan, you are still making sarcastic remarks. Puff. Seeing his aggrieved look, Fan Manyun couldn't help laughing out loud. Sister Fan, why are you here? Help the general manager get some information from the chairman's office. Oh. Ji Yukon glanced at the chairman's office with some curiosity and said mysteriously. Sister Fan, you said I'm already the chairman's assistant. When can I meet the chairman? Why, you want to hang out with the chairman? Fan Manyun glanced at Ji Yukon with her beautiful eyes and said with a smile. Sister, are you kidding me? I'm warning you, don't have any evil thoughts. The chairman is my goddess and she has very high requirements. There is no way she would be interested in a young boy like you. Sister Fan, you're getting more and more outrageous. It's best if you don't have the guts to steal. Even if you have the intention, put it away. After saying that, Fan Mannion gave him a fierce glance with her beautiful eyes, then turned around and left Ji Yukan with a charming back. Okay, go to work with peace of mind. Noon. Fang Hong made an appointment with Ji Yukan to meet in the cafeteria. When Ji Yukan arrived, Fang Hong was nowhere to be seen, so he found a more secluded place to sit down. He had already guessed what Fang Honglai would say to him. I also don't want too many colleagues to know Fang Hong's private affairs. Ji Yukan had just taken 2 mouthfuls of rice when he saw Fang Hong rushing all the way to the cafeteria. When he saw Ji Yukan, he didn't go to get food but hurried over. Just now, a manager's computer broke down, so I went to repair it for him. It's okay, why don't you go get some food first? He sat down opposite Ji Yukan, picked up his water cup and drank. No, I'm not hungry. Did Ji Xiaohui come to see you yesterday? Yeah. Let me stop meddling in your business. Hearing this, Fang Hong slapped the back of her head in annoyance. It's all my fault. I let something slip in my excitement and you got hurt. It's okay, how are you and her doing now? It's a split, what else can it be? Then why didn't she explain to you? Ji Yukan looked at Fang Hong with some concern, as she looked indifferent, and asked. She said she was forced to go there by her supervisor. So you believe it? How is that possible? I told her to go to the police station and report this scumbag. She immediately started to stammer and couldn't say anything. Hearing this, Ji Yukan shook his head helplessly and said. Okay. So she's not making any more excuses. No, just keep telling me how much you cherish our relationship. Bar. How can I forgive her after all this? Ji Yukan put down his chopsticks and patted his shoulder heavily. It's a breakup now. Work hard and you'll always meet someone better. Well, of course I know. There are several beauties in our company, and I have been paying attention to them for a long time. Oh, with your current state of mind, it seems like you don't even need my comfort. I'm fine, bro. Why do I need you to worry about me? After get off work, Ji Yukan drove Fang Hong back to the dormitory. Although Fang Hong looked indifferent at noon, Ji Yukan could feel that he had not gotten over the breakup so quickly. After get off work today, he was not interested in taking the driving rights of Ji Yukan's car, which showed that he was still in a bad mood. Return to the dormitory. Fang Hong turned on the computer and started playing the game directly. Ji Yukan didn't say anything more. I changed into sportswear, ran a few laps on the playground, then washed up and lay down on the bed. Feeling a little nervous, I opened the chat app on my phone. Auntie, are you there? Poor. I'm here. Happy. Seeing that his aunt replied immediately and seemed to be in a good mood, Ji Yukan suddenly became energetic. Are you not mad at me anymore? Grin. I'm not angry, what are you talking about? Arrogant. How could there be none? The tone of his voice is so cold. Pathetic. I am like this. Horrified. Well, I'm scared. Sad. That was my fault. I was in a bad mood yesterday. Hug. Seek comfort. Crying. Auntie took a lot of photos of you today. Shy. Young people should not watch this every day, it will affect their physical and mental health. Poor. Nonsense. Only by reading this can you soothe your nerves and eliminate negative emotions. Love. Ding dong. Keep ringing. Ji Yukan was delighted and clicked on his aunt's private photo. This time he forgot to pinch his nose, and the nosebleed flowed directly onto his pajamas. I had no choice but to get out of bed and change my clothes. After finishing a round, Fang Hong turned around and asked curiously. Have you been getting angry recently? Maybe. I just brought some chrysanthemum tea from home, you can use it to make some. Oh, okay. Ji Yukan responded in a panic. When I lay down on the bed again, I saw that my aunt had already asked several question marks. Ji Yukan quickly replied. My nosebleed has flowed onto my clothes. I was just washing my pajamas. Poor thing. Young people are prone to getting angry, so drink more chrysanthemum tea. Snickering. Auntie, your large-scale cheongsam style is too visually impactful. Bitter. Does it look good? Shy. If you move a little more, it will be more beautiful. Kiss. Can you bear it? Chuckling. I have drunk a pot of chrysanthemum tea. Struggle. Yer shy. Ring, ring, ring. The sudden call scared Ji Yukan, who was feeling guilty, and the phone almost hit his face. When I looked at the caller, it turned out to be from home. Quickly picked up the phone. Fei, why did you think of calling me? What did you say? We found the source of Dad's kidney. Ji Yukan suddenly sat up from the bed and said in surprise. His reaction scared Fang Hong, and she hurriedly took off her headphones. Just as I was about to ask him what was going on, I saw that he was on the phone, so I stopped talking in anger. Okay, the surgery can be done right away, right? What? Why is the surgery fee suddenly 450,000? Didn't Dr. Huang say 300,000 would be enough? Okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll find a way. Chapter 21 Ji Yukan, you must tell your aunt if there is anything. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan's face looked a little heavy. Fang Hong suddenly leaned over. Ji Yukan, who was in a trance, was startled by him. What are you doing? Uncle's kidney source has been matched. Well, but the cost is too scary, and I don't know what to do. 450,000. It's a lot indeed. Ji Yukan frowned, not knowing what to do for a moment, and rubbed his hair in annoyance. In fact, over the years, I have transferred more than 200,000 yuan to my family. After deducting the medical expenses over the years, my mother should still have hundreds of thousands left. Hearing this, Fang Hong was surprised and raised her voice. How could you save so much money from working all these years? So what? It's still not enough. Ji Yukan shook his head with a bitter smile and said dejectedly. Then, can I borrow some money from your relatives? They are all poor relatives from the mountains, with little money. I have borrowed everything I could. Now, they are afraid of my family and have not been around much in recent years. Hearing Fang Hong's words, Ji Yukan felt even more helpless and smiled bitterly. Hey, this is the case. Let me help you think of a solution. Okay, what can you do? I'll think about it myself. After saying that, Ji Yukan waved his hand and lay back on the bed, lost in thought. Seeing him like this, Fang Hong shook her head helplessly and said nothing more. Ding dong. After hearing the message sound, Ji Yukan realized that he was still chatting with his aunt. Quickly replied. Auntie, I'm sorry. My family called just now and I forgot to reply to you. Kowtow. It's so late, is there anything urgent at home? Question. Nothing, my sister just called to check on me because she hasn't seen me for a while. Silly smile. See aunt's question. It might be Ji Yukan's self-esteem that was at work, or he just instinctively didn't want to tell her the truth. That's good. Go to bed early and don't be too tired. Hug. Okay, auntie. Hug. Put down your phone. Ji Yukan was not sleepy at this time and was staring at the ceiling in a daze. What should I do? There is a gap of 300,000. Where can I find so much money? Bank loan. Online loan. Credit loan. I don't have such a high credit. Just like this, I was in a daze and had random thoughts. Ding dong. Suddenly, the cell phone message sound rang again. Ji Yukan casually opened his phone and saw a message from his aunt. If there is something wrong at home, don't hide it. You must tell your aunt, okay? Smile. After seeing this message, Ji Yukan did not reply. With a satisfied smile, he fell into a deep sleep. The next day. Office of Assistant to the Chairman. Ji Yukan didn't feel very energetic all morning. My mind was full of thoughts about how I could get 300,000, and I had no energy to look at any information. Boom boom boom. Come in. Fan Manyun walked into the office with a stack of documents. Ji Yukan quickly stood up and helped Fan Manyun take the documents. Sister Fan, you don't have to come up and give me the information in person. Just give me a call and I'll go down and get it myself. It's okay. I was afraid you'd be bored in the office alone, so I came up to take a look around and talk to you. Hearing this, Ji Yukan didn't want to joke with her anymore and forced a smile. Thank you, Sister Fan, for your concern. Kindness. You don't look very well. What's wrong? Did you have insomnia again last night? After staring at Ji Yukan for a while, Fan Mannion sensitively noticed that he was different today and asked in confusion. No, I just didn't sleep well last night. Really? Yes. Fan Mannion looked at Ji Yukan's face carefully, but didn't seem to see anything, so she stopped investigating. If you are too tired, you can secretly take a nap in the office. Don't worry, I won't tell. Kindness. Hearing this, Ji Yukan could only nod in agreement. Then I'll leave first. You should have a good rest. After saying that, Fan Mannion still looked at him worriedly before turning and leaving. Ji Yukan returned to his desk. How could he sleep at this moment? He was so confused that his head was foggy. Ding dong. Fang Hong sent a message to Ji Yukan, asking him to meet in the cafeteria at noon. Noon. Pomeranian Canteen. Ji Yukan was eating his meal absent-mindedly when Fang Hong walked towards him with a tray. Okay, can you please stop being so depressed? Did I? Maybe I was just too absorbed in my thoughts. After sitting down, Fang Hong looked around cautiously and whispered. I have good news for you, do you want to hear it? Oh. Ji Yukan continued to eat his meal indifferently and responded casually. Okay, I've asked the Human Resources Department for you. Our company provides benefits for employees in need. I have also thought about this method and checked the internal information. This kind of subsidy is added to your salary every month after your application is successful. But I'm in a hurry to use it now and can't wait. Ji Yukan thought he wanted to say something, but he didn't expect that he was trying to help him find a solution. Although it didn't have much effect, I was still very touched. You're stupid. You're a company executive now after all. Go ask, maybe there will be special treatment. Kindness. The words awakened Ji Yukan, who immediately became alert. Yes, I can go and ask for details. Ordinary employees don't have it, but maybe company executives can have some hidden benefits. Thanks. I'll treat you to dinner tonight. Remember, it's a full meal, roadside stalls don't count. Seeing that Ji Yukan was so willing to treat her to a meal, Fang Hong didn't want to miss the opportunity and immediately shouted loudly. It's just afternoon working hours. Ji Yukan was already waiting at the door of the manager of the Human Resources Department. At this time, a gentleman in his 40s wearing gold-rimmed glasses walked towards the office. Ji Yukan checked the information and found that this person was the manager of the Human Resources Department, Zhao Kuan. Hello, Manager Zhao. I am Ji Yukan, the assistant to the chairman. You are that Ji Yukan? Zhao Kuan seemed a little confused by Ji Yukan's initial enthusiasm and blurted out. Excuse me, you must be Assistant Ji Yu, right? Come in. Zhao Kuan realized that he had said the wrong thing and immediately tried to make amends. Manager Zhao, please go first. Ji Yukan didn't mind and quickly said modestly. At this time, Zhao Kuan felt a little frightened. What does this Ji Yukan want to do when he suddenly comes to our Human Resources Department? Who is this person related to in the group? You still have to be careful when dealing with him, and don't take advantage of him. I wonder if Assistant Ji Yu has anything to teach us when he comes to our department. I don't deserve your advice. I just want to ask, does the company have any benefits for employees in need? Hearing this, Zhao Kuan frowned, a little confused. Yeah, does Assistant Ji Yu have any friends that need to apply? I want to ask if there are any special treatments for company executives. When Zhao Kuan heard what Ji Yukan said, he raised his eyes and looked at him meaningfully. Chapter 22, Sister is borrowing money from you and requires an IOU. Could it be Assistant Ji Yu who wants to apply for a subsidy? Yes. My father has been in poor health and needs surgery in the next few days, which will cost a lot of money. I wonder if the company has any subsidies in this regard. Hearing this, Zhao Kuan frowned, feeling confused. What is going on with this Ji Yukan? Is he here to make fun of me? But looking at him, it doesn't look like that. If he is a relative of someone in the group's senior management, he can go to him if he has any problems. What's the point of him coming to our department? Or did this guy just get lucky and become the leader by accident? Assistant Ji Yu, you are also a senior executive of the group, so I won't beat around the bush. This benefit is originally for ordinary employees, and executives do not actually receive this subsidy. What? There is such a thing. When Zhao Kuan saw him like this, he became more certain of his guess. Yes. As for the subsidies for senior executives, there really aren't any. They don't lack the money. Manager Zhao, how could there not be? Ordinary employees have it, but executives don't. This doesn't make sense. Zhao Kuan looked at this newcomer who knew nothing and felt indignant. How can such a young boy be able to sit in the position of assistant to the chairman? Is the company also confused and making decisions with its feet? If you really need assistance from the company, you can try submitting an application directly to the general manager. Is this still possible? Yeah. After seeing Ji Yukan off, Zhao Kuan showed a sneer on his face. Submit it to the general manager. Har har, you will be in trouble. At this time, Ji Yukan did not waste any time and went straight to his office. Print documents and fill in information quickly. After finishing it, I was about to go directly to Mr. Yi, thinking to myself. Why don't we show it to Sister Fan first? If there are any problems, she will know more clearly. He thought and did it, and went straight to Fan Manyan's office. Boom boom boom. Come in. Ji Yukan walked into the office and saw her writing something in a notebook. Sister Fan, are you busy? Are you free? How come my brother has time to come to see my sister? I have a document here that I want to submit to Mr. Yi for approval. I want you to help me check if there are any problems first. Hearing this, Fan Manyan was stunned. She stretched out her fair jade hand and looked at Ji Yukan with some confusion. What kind of document is this that requires so much caution? Sister, it's here, you'll know when you see it. Fan Manyan took the document, said nothing more, and started reading it. Moment. She frowned, stared at Ji Yukan with her beautiful eyes, and said nothing. Sister Fan, is there anything wrong with this application document? If it's handed over to Mr. Yi, then there will be big problems. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was shocked and said hurriedly. Sister Fan, what's the problem? Even if this document is submitted, Mr. Yi will not sign it. Mr. Yi is a very rule-abiding person and will not make an exception for you unless there is a sufficient reason. Fan Manyan saw Ji Yukan with an anxious look on his face, his beautiful eyes moving as if he was thinking about something. Doesn't Ji Yukan have someone in the group? Why didn't he ask him for help? Or is there no one above Ji Yukan? If he goes through the formal channels, the group will not be able to help him. I've invested in you, so please don't let me down. Ji Yukan, when is the latest your father will need the surgery fee? The doctor said it should be before this week at the latest. How about this, there is still 100,000 yuan in my sister's bank card, I can withdraw it for you first. Ji Yukan looked at Fan Manyan in disbelief and waved his hands quickly. No, this is absolutely not possible. How can I take such a large amount of money from you? What's wrong with that? It's not for you. Just write an IOU to your sister and I'll lend it to you. At this time, Ji Yukan looked conflicted and remained silent. After all, he and Fan Manyan had only known each other for a short time, so it was not appropriate for him to just take her money like that. But there can be no delay on my father's side. Sister Fan, I still can't take this money. I'll think of other ways. Fan Manyan looked at the big boy in front of her. After hesitating, he still didn't want her money, and she felt a little anxious. Silly brother, what else can you do now? You are a poor student, you have no connections and no resources. Things are urgent now, why are you still hesitating? Forget it, I'll help you find out what Mr. Yi's attitude is first. Okay, thank you Sister Fan. Well, go back and work with peace of mind. Wait for me to inform you of the specific situation. Looking at Ji Yukan who had already left, Fan Manyan thought to herself. This brother Ji Yu is not loved in vain, he is a real person. Unfortunately, in today's society, honest people will suffer losses. I was cheated by that bastard, otherwise how could I only have 100,000 in savings? Hey, it's because my sister and you get along so well. I'll give you this money first, and you have to rely on yourself to make up for the rest. Ji Yukan returned to the office and suppressed his annoyance. He looked at the information for a while and then became absent-minded again. I don't know how Sister Fan is doing. I don't know if the company is willing to sponsor me. I'm afraid it's difficult. It seems that we still need to think of another way. Time just passes by so quickly. After get off work. After waiting for an entire afternoon without any news, Ji Yukan came to Fan Manyan's office. Seeing that there was no one there, I felt somewhat disappointed. It seems that Sister Fan has no choice but to think of another idea. Ji Yukon came to the parking lot feeling disappointed. After getting into his black Mercedes-Benz, he did not drive away from the company immediately. Just like that, I just sat there in the car in a daze. Boom boom boom. The sound of knocking on the glass woke up the dazed Ji Yukon. He quickly rolled down the car window. I saw a bank card thrown in from the car window. There's 100,000 in there. Take it first. The password is 336528. Ji Yukon quickly stuck his head out of the window, looked at Fan Manyan's departing figure, and shouted loudly. Sister, that's not necessary. I've already thought of a solution. Okay. Can you think of a way to sell yourself? Remember to write me an IOU when the time comes. Just as he was about to push open the car door, Ji Yukon's hand stopped and he gritted his teeth secretly. Sister Fan, thank you. I will definitely repay you. Return to the dormitory. Ji Yukon didn't change his clothes and just lay down on his bed. Now, I have Sister Fan's 100,000 yuan in my hand. There is still a shortfall of 200,000 yuan. Where can I get it? Why not look at loans? Then, he took out his mobile phone and started checking each app one by one. Crunch. The sound of a door opening was heard. Ji Yukon put down his phone with some curiosity. I remember Fang Hong clearly said that she would not go back to the dormitory today. I saw Fang Hong walking in with a swagger. Seeing this, Ji Yukon said unhappily. Pretending to be the god of gamblers. Here, this is the $100,000 I give you. Chapter 23. Ji Yukon, Auntie thinks you are hiding something from me. Hearing this, Ji Yukon was startled and sat up suddenly from the bed. Where did you get the money? Seeing Ji Yukon's surprised look, Fang Hong said with a face that asked for a beating. I am a rich man, this little money is nothing. Stop fooling me and explain clearly. Well, I went home and borrowed it from my parents. Ji Yukon's heart was shocked, his brows furrowed, and he looked at Fang Hong deeply. How can I take my uncle and aunt's money? Just take it back. I will find a way. What can you do? Take it first. After saying that, regardless of whether Ji Yukon was happy or not, he stuffed the bank card into his arms. This money is actually mine. This 100,000 is what my parents planned to save for me. Looking at the bank card in his arms, Ji Yukon would be lying if he said he wasn't touched. Thank you very much, later. Okay, stop being fussy. Where's the dinner we agreed on? Walk. After eating and drinking, they returned to the dormitory. Seeing that it was getting late, Ji Yukon hurried to wash up. Lying in bed, it's already 11 o'clock. Ding dong. The phone message sounded. Ji Yukon took out his cell phone and saw a message from his aunt. It's so late, why haven't you returned to the dormitory yet? Smile. I just lay down and you sent me a message. Grin. What are you doing? Why are you back to the dormitory so late again today? Arrogant. I had dinner with my roommate, so it was a little late. Awkward. You have been acting strange since yesterday. Are you hiding something from your aunt? Question. Ji Yukon saw the message from his aunt and thought to himself. Auntie really cares about me, otherwise, she wouldn't have noticed anything so quickly. If I told her, she would definitely help me. Forget it, it doesn't make much difference anyway, so it's enough to just make up for it. How could this happen? Dazed. Really? Why didn't you reply to my message? Rolling eyes. Ji Yukon was stunned and a little confused. After recalling, he didn't realize what he had missed. I sent you a message at midnight last night. Crazy. I was busy today and forgot to reply. Poor. After sending this message, Ji Yukon felt extremely conflicted. Am I cheating on my aunt? But I really don't want her to worry. Oh, I hope you're telling the truth. Smile. Yeah. Poor. Oh. Ji Yukon, with sweat on his forehead, quickly typed. Auntie, I'm so sleepy. I'm going to sleep first. Rose. Put down your phone. Ji Yukon did not go to sleep immediately. He stared blankly at the ceiling. Auntie, who are you? I really want to meet you. The next day. As soon as Ji Yukon arrived in Pomeranian, he felt a little strange. All his colleagues seemed to look at him strangely, making him feel uncomfortable. Arriving at my own office, I finally felt more relaxed. Just sat down not long ago. Boom boom boom. Fan Mannion pushed the door open with an unhappy look on her face. Sister Fan, who has offended you and made you so unhappy so early in the morning? Fan Mannion did not say anything. She stared at Ji Yukan for a while with her beautiful eyes, as if she wanted to say something but hesitated. Sister Fan, why are you looking at me like that? Brother, your family is short of money and you asked the company for subsidies. Now everyone in the company knows about it. Hearing this, Ji Yukan was shocked and remained silent for a moment. The only people who know about this are Fang Hong and Sister Fan. The two of them definitely wouldn't tell anyone, so the only person it could be was Zhao Kuan. Sister Fan, it should be Zhao Kuan who said that. He was also the one who gave me the idea to submit the application to Mr. Yi. Hearing this, Fan Mannion's face darkened. This Zhao Kuan is considered an old Pomeranian. He usually seems quite calm, but he would actually do something like this. Sister Fan, it's okay. Even if everyone knows about it, I don't mind. Fortunately, you were more careful yesterday and let me see it first. Otherwise, it's not just a matter of your face. By then, in order not to affect the company, Mr. Yi might even have to fire you. Fan Mannion seemed to be afraid of Ji Yukan and didn't know the interests involved, so she gritted her teeth and explained to him. I have no hatred or grudge against him, why did he harm me like this? When Ji Yukan heard what Fan Mannion said, he was shocked and a little confused. My silly brother, why else could I be jealous of your sudden promotion? This. Now you know your situation. Fan Mannion glanced at him with some heartache in her beautiful eyes and said helplessly. Sister Fan, it's okay. Anyway, I haven't given the application documents to Mr. Yi yet. Now, at most, I just have some face to lose. It's not that simple. Your promotion was sudden, and everyone is already speculating. Now, everyone knows that you don't seem to have any background. Then when you start working in the future, no one will be willing to cooperate with you. Only then did Ji Yukan understand Zhao Kuan's sinister intentions, and his expression turned ugly. Sister Fan, what should I do now? Ji Yukan, a rookie in the workplace, seems to be in a dilemma. When Fan Mannion saw Ji Yukan's look, she suddenly felt a little guilty. Okay, you don't have to worry too much. You have recognized me as your sister. If you have any problems in the future, I will help you. Yes. Thank you Sister Fan for your reminder just now. I will be more careful next time. Seeing that Ji Yukan had recovered, Fan Mannion felt relieved. It seems that this younger brother has a good attitude. But we cannot forget Zhao Kuan's vengeance. Don't let me catch him doing anything wrong, or I'll make him pay. Yes. I will remember this lesson. Seeing that he was fine, Fan Mannion patted his shoulder. Just work hard. I'm leaving first. After saying that, he left Ji Yukan's office without staying. At noon, Fang Hong met Ji Yukan in the staff cafeteria. You know, this Zhao Kuan is such a piece of shit. Is there anyone who behaves like him? Forget it, he's the manager of the Human Resources Department, what can we do to him? If I can't do it, you can? You are the chairman's assistant now after all. If you want to deal with him in the future, it will only take a few minutes. It's not that easy. Not to mention me now, I just took office and have no real power. Even if he becomes capable in the future, he must still follow the rules. If he doesn't make mistakes, I can't do anything to him. You are so honest. By the way, besides yours, there is another more exciting one today. Do you want to hear it? Seeing that Fang Hong seemed to have gotten over his breakup, Ji Yukan was still very happy for him. Go ahead. I want to see who can be more powerful than me. Fang Hong looked around cautiously, then whispered. The chairman came to the company again this morning and had a big fight with the general manager. There is such a thing. How come I, the chairman's assistant, didn't receive any news? Chapter 24. Are the benefits of Bomei Group really that good? Fang Hong looked at Ji Yukan with a strange look. Yeah, you're the chairman's assistant, and you don't know about this. Why are you looking at me like that? How should I know why? Seeing Ji Yukan's confused expression, Fang Hong patted his shoulder and comforted him. You don't have to worry too much. In fact, our chairman is a very mysterious person, and few people in the company have seen her. Okay, am I that fragile? Do I really need you to comfort me? Cheng Cheng, let's go. I'm not as free as you. If I'm late, I'll be scolded by the manager. Afternoon. Ji Yukan is sorting out the information. Ding ling ling. It turned out to be my mother calling. Ji Yukan was worried that something had happened to his father, so he quickly picked up the phone. Hey, Mom. Is there something wrong with Dad? It's okay. That's good. Mom, don't blame my sister for telling me. It's a good thing that Dad can find a kidney source. The company will help me with the money issue, so you don't have to worry. I will remit the money to you in the next 2 days. It's okay, our company is huge. This is because the company saw that I am a talent and funded me. Yes, I will work hard to repay the company's kindness. Don't treat yourselves badly, eat well and rest. Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan felt a little heavy-hearted and started thinking again. There is still a shortfall of about 100,000 yuan. Where can I find this money? Why not try a loan? Ding ling ling. The company's internal phone rang. Ji Yukan did not dare to delay and picked up the phone immediately. Hello, I'm Ji Yukan. Mr. Yi is looking for me, right? Okay, I'll be there right away. Ji Yukan did not dare to delay and hurriedly took the elevator downstairs. As soon as the elevator door opened, Fan Manyun was already waiting at the elevator entrance. The chairman came to the company today, and they had a quarrel in the office. President Yi is in a bad mood now. As for why I'm looking for you, I'm not sure. Be careful when you speak inside later. Okay, thank you, Sister Fan. At this moment, Ji Yukan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. No wonder people in ancient times had to please the people around the emperor, it was so important. Boom boom boom. Enter. Ji Yukan took a deep breath and pushed open the general manager's door. Ji Yukan, you are really trying to cause trouble for me, right? Can't you just be quiet? Boss Yi, I don't understand what you mean. Ji Yukan was confused again by Mr. Yi's question, and secretly complained in his heart. Could it be that my brain frequency is not in sync with Mr. Yi's? Now everyone in the company knows about this. Are you still playing dumb with me? You mean I need money? What else could it be? Ji Yukan suddenly realized, since the whole company knows about it today. What else? Yi Lingyao became even more annoyed by Ji Yukan's innocent look. Boss Yi, I just went to Manager Zhao to ask if our company has any subsidies in this regard. You are a company executive after all, have some dignity. How will others view our Pomeranians from now on? Yi Lingyao said with a look of disgust, seeming very angry that his behavior brought shame to the company. I'm sorry, Mr. Yi, I didn't know either. The whole company will know about this. You just want to say that someone is deliberately trying to mess with you, right? Seeing that Ji Yukan did not respond, Yi Lingyao sneered. If you don't have any evidence against you, how can others get you? This incident has taught you to grow some brains. You didn't even realize you were being fooled. Ji Yukan suddenly felt that there was something wrong with what Yi Lingyao said. It was as if she was giving him some advice. Mr. Yi taught me a lesson. I will be more careful next time. If you dare to do it again, no matter who obstructs me, I will definitely fire you. Yi Lingyao gritted her teeth and said to Ji Yukan. Then, pointing to a document on the desk, he said to Ji Yukan. Take this document and sign it. Kindness. Why, the company gave you a subsidy of 500,000, and you are not happy about it. Yi Lingyao looked at him, sneering non-stop. Then, she seemed to be about to put the file away. If you don't want to, forget it. Just pretend I never mentioned it. Hearing this, Ji Yukan immediately took the document and signed it on the spot. You're pretty quick when it comes to asking for money. Okay, if you're fine, get out. After saying that, Yi Lingyao picked up the document and put it in her drawer. Walk out of the general manager's office. At this moment, Ji Yukan was completely confused. What does Mr. Yi mean by this? First give a beating and then give a sweet treat. When Fan Manyun saw Ji Yukan coming out, she quickly stood up and walked to his side and asked. What happened? When Mr. Yi said that to you, you didn't talk back, did you? Sister Fan, do you think I look like someone who would dare to talk back? Ji Yukan waved his hand innocently and said. That's good. Why did Mr. Yi scold you? Hey, I need money for something. Oh, that's no wonder. Mr. Yi wouldn't ask you to resign, would he? No, she said the company would give me a grant of 500,000 yuan. Hearing this, Fan Manyun was stunned, with an incredible expression on her face. Real. Yeah. I can't believe it either. The company is actually willing to help me. Fan Manyun came back to her senses and looked at Ji Yukan meaningfully with her beautiful eyes. Well, it's a good thing that the company is willing to help you. What are you still struggling with? Go and work peacefully. Hearing this, Ji Yukan shook his head to clear his mind. Okay, Sister Fan. I'll be leaving then. After walking only 2 steps, Ji Yukan seemed to remember something and quickly turned around and said, "By the way, Sister Fan, this is your bank card." Seeing this, Fan Manyun didn't hesitate and took it back directly. Ji Yukan waved goodbye. Fan Manyun looked at his back and fell into deep thought. Ji Yukan, this younger brother, is no simple person. It's interesting that the company actually agreed to sponsor him. Could it be that the chairman came here today because of Ji Yukan's matter? This shouldn't be possible. Ji Yukan returned to his office. At this moment, he was in a particularly good mood and was thinking happily in his heart. The surgery fee is finally settled. I am really grateful for the company's help. I must work hard and do more for Pomeranian. However, this is also strange. Why is the company suddenly willing to sponsor me? Forget it, don't think too much about it, as long as I have money, it's good enough. With a happy mood. The afternoon passed quickly. Ji Yukan hummed a song and opened the dormitory door. Seeing Fang Hong already in the dormitory, Ji Yukan asked curiously. Why are you back so early? You didn't even tell me you wanted to stay with me after get off work, so I thought you went home again. Why go home? I had a stomachache this afternoon, so I came back to rest after working for a while. I see. Have you taken your medicine? After saying that, Ji Yukan took out a box of medicine from his desk. I ate it. You look so horny, have you figured out the money issue? Smart. Here, this is the 100,000 yuan reward for you. I'll give it back to you. I am rich now. Chapter 25. Auntie, I was really wrong, please don't ignore me. Look at your arrogant expression. You have so much money. Are you dating a rich woman? Go cool off. The company is willing to give me 500,000 yuan. What? There is such a good thing. Actually I was quite surprised too. Fang Hong suddenly said in a somewhat obscene tone. Do you think it's true that someone up there has taken a liking to you? This. For a moment, Ji Yukan didn't know how to explain it. Could it be that someone really has a crush on me? However, I don't know whether it's because of my ability or my. Forget it, never mind. It's a good thing anyway, you have to treat me to a meal. Let's do it another day. I'm a little tired today. No problem, I'll wait for your notification. Fang Hong was very satisfied with his attitude. She put on headphones and started playing games while sick. Ji Yukan was in a happy mood. He took a shower and went to bed early. Take out your cell phone. Ji Yukan did not open the chat software immediately, but checked his bank card balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 6 digits. Looking at the balance in front of him, he couldn't help but sigh. Pomeranian is so efficient. Not long after the document was signed, I received a transfer from the company to my bank card. Auntie, are you there? After waiting for a while, I saw that my aunt didn't reply. Ji Yukan opened the website and checked the things that patients need to pay attention to after a kidney transplant. Wait until he finishes checking all the information. Seeing that his aunt had not replied to his message, he felt a little worried. Auntie, are you still busy? Pathetic. Seeing that no one responded, he still did not give up and continued to post. Auntie, is something wrong with you? Please reply as soon as you see me, shivering. Some time passed. Seeing that still no one responded, Ji Yukan became really anxious. Auntie, I'm worried about you. If you see the message, give me a location and I will come to find you right away. Panic. After saying that, he got out of bed and prepared to change his clothes. Ding dong. The message reply sounded. Ji Yukan was delighted and clicked on the message immediately. Are you annoying? I fell asleep. Angry. Seeing the aunt's impatient reply, Ji Yukan was stunned. But he was not angry, just a little confused. Auntie, are you angry with me? Question. No, I was just sleeping. Rolling eyes. Now, Ji Yukan was sure that his aunt was indeed angry with him. How did I offend my aunt? I didn't say anything wrong. Suddenly, he remembered that last night his aunt repeatedly asked him if anything happened at home. The last scene where he just sleeps away. Auntie, I was wrong. Can't I just tell you the truth? Pitiful. Explain. My father has found a kidney source, and the surgery costs 450,000 yuan. These past 2 days, I have been busy raising money. Shut up. Why didn't you tell me? Going crazy. Auntie, I didn't mean it. I was afraid you would worry. I'm about to cry. You're lying. You don't want my money, right? Angry. So the message from my aunt. Ji Yukan's face completely fell, and he felt a little uneasy. He said, I just thought I could think of a solution, so I didn't tell you. In that case, why are you looking for me? Auntie, I was really wrong. I shouldn't have lied to you. Do you think I was angry because you lied to me? I just realized that you have always treated me as an outsider. Auntie, I really didn't think so. Kowtow. But you did it. Yes, who am I to you? Why should I interfere in your life? Auntie, don't say that. I really like you. I already regard you as my wife. At this time, Ji Yukan was so anxious that sweat was pouring down his forehead. Heh, don't come to see me again. Goodbye. Auntie, that's not the case. Let me explain. You are not his friend yet, please pass the friend verification request first. After seeing the gray prompt below after the message was sent, Ji Yukan was completely stunned. Auntie, it's not like that. I hope you can participate in my life. I didn't mean to lie to you, I really didn't mean to lie to you. I really know I was wrong, please don't ignore me. He resent the friend request, but it fell on deaf ears, with no response at all. Put down your phone. Ji Yukan looked at the ceiling with some despair. A sleepless night. The next day. No need to go to work. Normally, Ji Yukan, who is extremely self-disciplined, sleeps until noon. Hey, rich man, what's wrong with you today? It's almost noon, and you're still sleeping. Fang Hong patted Ji Yukan's quilt and asked curiously. Ji Yukan was awakened by his voice and opened his hazy eyes. Fang Hong was startled by his bloodshot eyes and hurriedly asked with concern. Are you okay? Are you sick? After saying that, without caring whether Ji Yukan agreed or not, he reached out and touched his forehead. Okay, I'm fine, I just couldn't sleep last night. Ji Yukan, who had completely woken up, pushed Fang Hong's hand away helplessly. Look at your achievements. It's only $500,000. Why are you so excited? Fang Hong thought that Ji Yukan was too excited about his unexpected fortune and acted like this, so she said with some disdain. You talk as if you've seen so much money. Seeing that he misunderstood, Ji Yukan did not explain and just retorted. Just because I don't have it now doesn't mean I won't have it in the future. Don't underestimate me. The future richest man is right in front of you, you must hold onto this tightly. Ji Yukan simply ignored his antics. I got up and took a cold shower, and my head finally cleared up. Get out of the bathroom. Ji Yukan didn't have time to put on his shirt. Fang Hong looked at the firm and smooth lines of his upper body and couldn't help but wonder. Are you sure you didn't go to the gym secretly without my knowledge? Who has the time for that? Then why do you have such strong muscles? And the most important thing is that you also have abdominal muscles. This is too unreasonable. You can have a part-time job every day if you want. Forget it, I can't bear this hardship. I'd better just be a stay-at-home boy. Ji Yukan put on his clothes quickly and said to Fang Hong. Come with me to the bank later. I'll transfer the money to my mother, and then we'll go out for dinner together. Why, you finally remembered to treat me to a big dinner. Don't worry, I won't treat you unfairly. After Ji Yukan transferred the money at the counter, he walked out of the bank with Fang Hong. I will never come to the bank on weekends again. Why are there so many people? Okay, stop complaining. Come on, I'll treat you to a nice meal. Fang Hong suddenly became energetic and followed Ji Yukan happily. Ding ling ling. Ji Yukan's cell phone rang. Hey, Mom. You received the money, right? Then pay it quickly, so as not to delay Dad's surgery. Yeah, I'll take care of myself. Don't treat yourselves badly, the remaining money is for you to use. Chapter 26. This person's back looks so familiar to me, where have I seen him before? Hang up the phone. Ji Yukan let out a long sigh. Seeing this, Fang Hong patted his shoulder. Your father will get better after you leave. Things will only get better in the days ahead. Of course. Let's go, I'll take you to a feast. Ji Yukan felt relieved and smiled. What are you eating? Don't fool me. There seems to be a new hot pot restaurant opened over at Shindar Plaza. Let's go try it. Perfect, I love hot pot. The two of them didn't waste any time and took a taxi directly there. Shindar Plaza. Because it was the weekend, there were a lot of people and it was particularly lively. After dinner, Ji Yukan and Fang Hong were in the mall, walking aimlessly to digest their food. Every few steps, Ji Yukan would check the friend verification information on his phone. Ji Yukan, what are you doing? He was always looking at his phone all the way. Could he be waiting for a message from his girlfriend? Fang Hong noticed that he was acting abnormally along the way and didn't think much about it, so she asked casually. I'm with you every day, I don't know whether I'm with you or not. I'm telling you? If you ever fall in love, you must tell me right away. Don't do this behind my back, or I'll have nothing to do with you. Ji Yukan responded to him absent-mindedly. How could Fang Hong understand the depression in his heart? Although he had his aunt's cell phone number, when he called, the phone was turned off. This made Ji Yukan feel vaguely uneasy. Now he is helpless and cannot contact his aunt at all. With a heavy sigh, Ji Yukan put away his phone. Okay, we finally got out here, why are you being so embarrassed? Come on, I'll take you to have some fun. Fang Hong glanced at Ji Yukan with some displeasure, and suddenly said with a somewhat obscene smile. Huh. Fang Hong, when did you start to degenerate? What are you thinking about? I just received a flyer that there's a new game city opening here. Let's go and have some fun. Fang Hong didn't care whether he was happy or not, and just pulled him forward. Arrived in front of the newly opened game city. Looking at the crowded scene, Ji Yukan wanted to turn around and leave, but was stopped by Fang Hong. Since you're here, let's go in and take a look. Aren't you afraid of crowds? Why aren't you afraid of them now? It's just a squeeze, what's the big deal? Besides, with so many beauties around, we won't suffer any loss. Ji Yukan was left speechless by his double-standard personality. Fang Hong pulled him into the game city. After exchanging coins, the two began to wander around among the various game projects. Suddenly, Fang Hong seemed to have found an opening, and hurriedly stepped forward, standing still and waving to Ji Yukan. When Ji Yukan came to Fang Hong, he had already inserted the coins and started the game. I was playing an antique fighting game, King of Fighters 97. At this point, the game has already started. Fang Hong chose Kusanagi, Yasha, and Terry. Ji Yukan, who was standing aside, felt emotional as he looked at Fang Hong, who had thrown herself into the battle. It's true, everyone has their own areas of expertise. Ji Yukan had to admire Fang Hong's talent in gaming. In the past, he always won first place in internal school competitions. Even if you participate in large-scale regional competitions, you can still get good rankings. At this point, the battle was coming to an end. The opponent's Kusanagi Kyo used a series of combined ultimate moves to directly take away Fang Hong's Yasha. Fang Hong was stunned and started cursing. Coin toss continues. Ji Yukan was also a little surprised. Fang Hong actually lost. It's been less than 3 minutes. Moreover, the opponent defeated 3 people by himself. No wonder Fang Hong is so irritable. When it comes to gaming, he has never given up. The battle begins again. This time Fang Hong chose Yagami, Nikai and Trout. What surprised Ji Yukan was that the other party actually chose the same lineup as him. Fang Hong seemed to have noticed it as well, and her face turned red. What does he mean by this? Is he trying to humiliate me? Very well, you wait and see. I will destroy all your rice fields. Real Geo. The prelude to the battle officially began. Unfortunately, the battle was faster this time. The opponent seemed to have known Fang Hong's strength and was able to fight her more easily. Soon, in less than 3 minutes, Fang Hong was defeated 3 times by 1 again. This time, Fang Hong no longer cursed like she did at the beginning, and she was actually excited. Master, this must be a great god. I actually ran into him, I can't miss him. Without stopping his hands, he directly put in another coin. The game begins again. The other party didn't seem to dislike Fang Hongcai and kept fighting with him. At this time, Ji Yukan also became curious about the person in front of the game console opposite. In this type of battle game machine, the opponents are usually machines placed back to back. But there were too many people in the arcade, and the game machines were too big. No matter how hard Ji Yukan stretched his head, he couldn't see the other side. Finally, through a tiny gap between the machines, one could vaguely see a figure that appeared to be wearing a hat. Ji Yukan looked at the figure and guessed that it should be a woman. The battle continues. It's true that Fang Hong's gaming talent is quite good. It seemed that after being abused in the beginning, he was able to last for several rounds slowly and the fight became more and more even. The opponent seemed to be able to sense Fang Hong's progress and fought more violently. Ji Yukan, who was watching the game, had a vague feeling. The other party is not here to play games, but seems to be venting his emotions. KO. Fang Hong was defeated again. He didn't say anything and just started a new one. However, the situation in this battle was somewhat different. Fang Hong defeated the opponent in no time. Ji Yukan was stunned and realized that something was wrong. The player has changed. The expert just now has left. After hearing Fang Hong's words, Ji Yukan also reacted. I don't know if it's because of curiosity or something else. Ji Yukan actually chased after him, just wanting to see who this person was. But there were too many people in the game city, and Ji Yukan, who was struggling to squeeze forward, was given a lot of cold stares. He couldn't care about that now. Because he had already seen a woman wearing a baseball cap and a ponytail not far in front of him. Seeing the other person's back, an inexplicable sense of familiarity surged into Ji Yukan's heart. This made him more eager to see the other person. It seemed like there was a voice in my heart telling me to catch up quickly, or I would lose something very important. When Ji Yukan finally squeezed out of the game city and looked around, the man was nowhere to be seen. Ji Yukan did not give up and immediately started searching inside and outside the mall. However, he was disappointed and never saw that familiar figure again. Although Ji Yukan was unwilling in his heart, he had no choice in the end. Ding ling ling. The cell phone rang. Hey, I'm outside the mall. No. I just happened to think of something, so I came out first. Well, I'll wait for you at the entrance of Lachar. Hang up the phone. While waiting for Fang Hong to come over, Ji Yukan was thinking about the figure he had just seen. This silhouette looks so familiar, where have I seen it before?